Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
There is a never say die attitude with this Tigers team this year. 81 games have been decided by 2 runs or fewer, including last night's 4-2 come from behind stunner here in Minnesota. Tonight, Detroit looks to secure a series win at Target Field. It's a place where they've had wonderful success lately. It takes place only here on Fox Sports Detroit. Hi, everyone. Alongside College Football Hall of Famer Kirk Gibson, I'm Matt Shepard. Young teams need to learn how to win. This is a young Tigers team. They're starting to learn that. We've seen the numbers. What's the recipe for success in close games, Gibby?
Well, to be fair, we've pointed out many things that they don't do good because of their youth. But we're now going to point out some things that they do very good. And they did it last night in the 8th inning, because when you want to do things, you have to do them more consistently. And you have to string your innings together like they did last night. In the 8th trailing, they scored 4 runs on 4 hits, a walk and fielder's choice. Harold Castro leads it off on a 3-2 count. He goes, Candy strikes out. They had to replay it, and he is safe. So that adds into Stewie has a big battle going down 0-2 on a couple of changeups. He battles back for the walk. So now you see the lineup starting to string together. Then we get the fielder's choice. Nico goes down there hard and gets the guy at second base. Castellanos hits his hit like he always does right here. Nico with the big hit. He pulled off the previous pitch, makes the adjustment. Now he gets the knock and we score another. And then they have a great play right here. It looks like a double play ball. Nico goes in a little aggressively. Doesn't allow Logan Forsythe to throw the ball to first. They replay that, review it. They said no, only 1 out. And then James McCann comes up with this. He has a terrible previous at-bats, fouls some pitches off here, finds a way to battle, then hits the ball down into the right field corner for big 2 RBIs. Boy, did he deserve it. So there's how you do it. You have good at-bats, you get them connected, they get connected by the stolen base, the breaking the play up, the walks, and then the good at-bats. And the Tigers doing more and more of that. It's taken quite some time. But last night was a good example of just how it works.
Last night was just the 16th time this year in 74 tries where they've been out-hit and yet still won. Nico Goodrum, at least Paul Molitor told us the other day, look, I didn't realize Goodrum was so revengeful. Goodrum has thrived against his old team. We can't wait to follow that storyline tonight. When we come back, we take you back to the Coliseum Studios and John Keating on Fox Sports Detroit. and comfortable Wednesday here in Minneapolis. 60 degrees as we get ready for first pitch between the Tigers and the Twins. Game 2 of this 3-game series, all right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Alongside Kirk Gibson, Johnny Kane, I'm Matt Shepard. Glad you're with us on this Wednesday night. Let's check out the Tigers batting order. It's presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers as they look to win the series with a win here tonight. Nick Castellanos batting third, batting .274 against righties. Jacoby Jones has a 5-game hitting streak. He's batting .316 during that stretch. And Ronnie Rodriguez at short tonight, batting .467 over his last few games, 7 for his last 15. Tigers have actually played very well lately on the road. They've won 7 of their last 11 road games, and they are 19-9 against Minnesota in the last 28 games here at Target Field. You saw Doug Mankiewicz, the former Minnesota Twin, give the umpires the Tigers starting lineup.
Chatty tonight, aren't they?
Yeah.
A little extra on the line tonight, I guess. And Doug Mankiewicz, the AAA manager down in Toledo, they always get called up in September. They call their AAA staff up, and also they can bring others up from the minor leagues to give them a taste, just like they do the players. Like you said, it's a nice, chilly night tonight. Like, I think everybody likes it.
You ever talk college football with Doug Mankiewicz?
I have not.
Oh my God.
I've heard people try and bait him into it. He's pretty serious about it, isn't
Gibby, he loves college football. He loves his Florida State Seminoles. But boy, he reacts just like a fan.
Rides the roller coaster.
Yeah, he does. Doesn't everybody? Today's Twins starting pitcher is Jake Odorizzi, presented by MGM Grand Detroit. He makes his 32nd start of the year, Gibby.
Yeah, that's pretty good. He's a bit of a nibbler. 3-1 with the 3.15 ERA against the Tigers. Second straight win on September 18th over Detroit, so he's had their number a little bit. The Tigers are trying to get back at him. Lots of fly balls, 72%. The balls, highest rate of balls hit in the air. That's second in the league. So the Tigers have to try and stay off that high one. He throws multiple pitches. He's got the fastball, the slider, the changeup, and the curveball, and an occasional cutter. So he's one of those guys that tries to get you to chase. Tigers at bats, as we talked about in the open, they're starting to show signs of understanding how to beat the opposing pitcher and have better at bats, and we saw that as they put the 8th inning together last night.
Yeah, you mentioned the fly ball rate for Odorizzi, and you mentioned number 2 in the American League. Matthew Boyd is number 4. So we would expect the outfielders to be busy tonight, right?
This is a good field. It's a big field to do so. Let's take a look at the Minnesota Twins starting defense. Starting in left field, Johnny Field, Jake Cave in center, Robbie Grossman, who we stopped by and talked to today, is in right field. Willens Estudillo is at third base. Tyler Austin's on the other corner. We're at first. Logan Forsythe and Jorge Polanco are up the middle. Chris Jimenez is catching Jake Odorizzi for the Twins tonight.
Just the 3rd start for Estudillo at third base this year for the Twins. Last night behind the plate. Tonight is Jimenez.
Starting to move him around because he can hit.
Yeah.
Finds in a spot.
What's that old saying, Gibby? The old saying is if you can hit, they'll find a place for you in the lineup, right?
Yes, they will.
You know. Jamer Candelario will lead things off for the Tigers. On base a couple of times last night. First pitch is high and tight. A shift immediately implemented by the Twins.
Expecting Candy to pull the ball. So they align it that way. There you are, 2-0 count. Now Minnesota has shown they don't just throw fastballs down the middle. They've been throwing secondary pitches here, so you got to get something out in the middle of the plate. Don't expand the zone. You're in the driver's seat, get rewarded for it. Attaboy. 3-0 no right now. We did have what Nico had a 3-0 swing yesterday. Didn't work out.
Nope. Flew it out to center.
I like it. I'm an opponent of it. We looked up the numbers. They're big.
Didn't need to. 4 pitches into the game. Detroit has their first base runner. If Detroit combines for 3 or more homers in this game, bring in a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box score in your newspaper or on the Tigers page at foxsportsdetroit.com.
It'll bring up Kristen Stewart. We've been talking a lot about his at-bats lately. Just like what I'm seeing, and I did have that conversation. Did you ask him, by the way, too, what he was thinking after he swung it?
I did
2
not.
change-ups down late in the game, and he just basically said, "You're not going to get me on that one, I promise you." And that's really what you have to do. You have to will yourself through certain things, certain hurdles that you got to cross, and it's kind of what he said. He just said, "Man, I'm going to stay on this regardless." Ended up getting a walk, and it ended up being a very big play. As Nick got a hit, Nico got a hit, and then the fielder's choice.
What can you tell about Kristen Stewart's mental makeup so far?
He doesn't seem overwhelmed by the enormity of adjustments he's going to have to learn how to make. He knows his classroom's full-time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We talked to him today when he came in, and he just has a good attitude about it. Cherishes it. Doesn't get too hung up on the negative that could come out of failing. Just kind of moves on.
Yeah, also very relaxed, playing cards earlier today with Jared Saltamacchia, Grayson Griner, and Mikey Mato. They were playing a card game. I wasn't familiar with the card game, but man, they were having fun doing it. Stroke to right center and hammered pretty well. Still going back, and that is off the high wall.
Well, get going.
1 run will score. Candelario. Stewart legging 3. Dave Clark says, "Keep coming, big fella." He's on his way. There is a throw at home, and he is going to be out.
You're going to check this. Okay, you got his hand in there. Possible. Stewart was low flying around there, by the way. It's a pretty good route around the bases. I think they may look at this. Nope. Pretty good relay. I mean, pretty good relay there. They thought they'd catch him. You can see the ball's there. No, he did. He blocked the plate. Nobody out. Clarkie probably wishes he would have had the other decision, but you know what? You do what you think is right. He's well prepared. He went for it, didn't work out. Just like every other player. Just like every other player that's now he's waving him on. And that's a lonely spot. It's just like making an error in, as a hitter, but good at bat.
2 outs after the Castellanos grounder. The thing about that, too, which you have to be encouraged with, Candelario right there to tell him to slide, and that you see Kristen Stewart immediately make that adjustment in the box and just hammer it about 403 feet away.
We've seen several balls go out that way and just die, right? Stewie hit that off the wall on the line. You can see he's strong. And I just like being ahead in the count and seeing him hammer it that way. Picked a good pitch, and when you pick good pitches, you have good results.
Nico Goodrum 1 for 4 last night with a run driven in.
But that would cost me a point there at home plate.
Yeah, but you got 4. You ended up getting 4. I don't think it cost you a point.
Yeah, it did.
Oh.
You're safe as 6.
Oh, well.
Home run.
So you're looking at
4
it from
bases,
the glass
a
half
hit.
empty. I'm looking at it like you hit a triple, an RBI triple.
Oh, it's a great start.
Yeah, it's not bad for the first inning.
Digressed. Just wanted a few more
Agreed.
points. Everybody's talking about catching me. You know, I beat too. Zodorizzi recovers quickly. The Tigers go down, but they do get a run.
Here in a minute. Today's Tigers starting pitcher is Matthew Boyd. Is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. What does he need to do to bounce back from his last rough outing, Gibby?
Well, hopefully he's got better stuff. He had 11 hitters in his last start that went to 2 strikes. On 7 of them, 4 of the 7 got hits. It's just one of those days. Jorge Bonifacio's 3-run home run ended his evening, but he's been doing better. The batting average against with 2 strikes is all-time low, and 2 strikes counts turning into strikeouts are better as well. I'm sorry that I went too long.
Now, you're all right. Here's the Twins batting order presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Joe Mauer is the guy you will focus on, hitting .357 in his last 11. Most impressively, in 10 games this year against the Tigers, he's batting .342. Really enjoyed our conversation with him prior to the game, and primarily you did most of the talking with him about where he's going, and your questions were relevant, they were pertinent, and he was great. You were just talking about the plane of the bat and how he does that.
Yeah, we did a piece on him when he was in Detroit. Just shows how, you know, he's only got 6 home runs for a big guy. Many think he should hit more home runs. That's not who he is, but he has an uncanny ability to keep the bat level and hit the ball where it's pitched. You know, there's a rumor he may play, he may not play. He didn't seem like a guy who wasn't going to play to me. Yeah, I just think he still looks good for his age. I mean, he's not even 35 yet, I don't think. And
he's still productive, though.
Yeah, he's very productive, and he plays first base. Seems like his back has not been an issue as well. And you know, we've been walking around talking to various players as you know, together recently. I think hope people appreciate that it's being productive, that we can represent really from the players that we're talking about in an accurate way, and it is really interesting to get around to the different personalities for sure.
Yeah, what I found most interesting in your conversation with him is that he said, I oftentimes go into the batter's box already with a 2-strike approach. 2 strikes here, goes the other way and into the stands. But he said if there's a guy who's got really good stuff, 97, 98 miles per hour, he said it actually helps me, and I take that 2-strike approach on the very first pitch.
Yeah, why be long when his terminology is short to the ball, short to the ball. We'll capture this swing.
The other way to Kristen Stewart. I hope he plays, because I like watching good players.
Absolutely. Take a look at the swing. Bat dips just a little bit right there. And Kristen Stewart knows he's coming that way. He's there and puts it away.
Jorge Polanco, the number 2 hitter, after going 2 for 5 last night, had a double and an RBI. Hitting from the right side, where he's much less effective. Only a .209 hitter, batting righty. .3-0 to him.
Last game, Matt could not get the ball down. Slider was not as effective as it had been in the previous 5 or 6 appearances. So he's out to try and get that rhythm down, and really the slider is his best pitch. So he wants to get his rhythm and get that slider going.
Throws it 31% of the time. Going the other way, could be trouble. It's foul. The slider, look at how much better it is this year compared to last year, even though he doesn't throw it as hard.
You can see everything. The usage is up, the average is down, way down, and the slug is way down.
And the slugging, it's amazing how much
much better that slider has been in that category alone. Do you ever worry that a pitcher throws an off-speed pitch like that too often?
Well, when you're spinning the ball like that, if it's in good spot, I would worry more from an injury standpoint, because I think the arm gets tender when you throw too much of them.
First run of the night for the Twins comes with one down.
McLaren Health Plan brings you the Tigers' starting defense tonight. Kristen Stewart again in left field, Jacoby in center, with Nicholas Castellanos in right. Candy is third base corner with Nico over at first. Ronnie Rodriguez is at shortstop with Dawel Lugo at second base. The kids are there. They're up the middle with James McCann behind the dish.
I thought you were going to give me a who
Black
song.
and Matt Boy.
Kids are all right.
The kids.
Logan Forsythe batting third tonight.
You were talking about Stewart. What do you look for? You just watch the way they handle the pressure. The kids up the middle the same way. They got to find comfort, and you hope that you see good signs.
Forsythe goes down the right field line. Castellanos read it well. There's two down.
Nice reverse pivot after the catch. Now that doesn't look like much, but Polanco tags up. Now all of a sudden wants to go to second. Now you're in position. You turn, you're close, everything's behind you. Way accurate throw with more on it. This way he needed to pump up, but he did not.
Well, it's also fundamental. I mean, you want to start doing things because it's about muscle memory. It's about doing things the right way. That's what Ron Gardenhire wants. We're going to show you winning ways, winning plays of some of those little things that Detroit has done much better this year than last. Already this year, this Tiger squad has more wins than a season ago.
With a whole different set of players and skill set.
There goes the runner. McCann's throw on the money, but a little late.
Oh. They take a look at everyone in the dugout. This went first move. Looks like he may have got away with it. Well, it was close. See how, I don't know, was that Lugo that was up front there?
Yeah.
Looked like he was in front of the bag a little bit. If you get in a habit of staying a little deeper, the glove had to travel back to the arm of Polanco. If you keep that glove a little deeper, it goes straight down. Who do we see? We saw Lindor from Cleveland.
Yeah,
Boy, he's the best Tiger I've watched this year.
Right back up the middle, and Grossman will drive in the game-tying run here in the first.
2 outs. I mean, it's just kind of a CNI signal, not a bad pitch. He does a good job of going up the middle. We're playing a little bit over, and it's one of the few times he gets through the Tigers infield, and they tie it up. That was a walk that scored. The dreaded walk.
Yeah, walk, stolen base, and RBI single. That's how you manufacture runs, isn't it?
Yep.
Tyler Austin stands in. 385 career hitter against Detroit.
Only 190 with runners in scoring position. So it seems like they don't have one in scoring position, but should they? Seems like he struggles. Maybe he sees more breaking balls. He didn't like that call.
Three for 6 in his career with a homer against Matthew Boyd. You've talked over the last few weeks about timing lefties. Runners have now stolen 18 bags in 21 attempts, or 20 attempts rather, against Matthew Boyd. Is that something he'll work on? Look out. Deep fly ball left field, and that is gone. That was hammered.
Looked like a slider. Just maybe not as sharp as it had been previous. Kind of right there in the power zone. You knew this was gone immediately.
Number 17 on the year for Tyler Austin. And immediately Astudillo takes advantage of a pitch over the plate and singles to right. 3 straight hits for the Twins.
I don't want this to come out the wrong way, but pretty comfy. And I spent a lot of time with Jack Morris the last 2 days we were here. And I know what his solution to that is.
Oh, yeah.
You just have to command the whole plate, side to side, up to down.
There's the Hall of Famer.
There's the pre and post here right now.
And he's worked some of our broadcasts on Fox Sports Detroit this year. Jake Cave swings and misses.
He's always fun to be around because you can be rest assured he's going to throw a couple of mental jabs your way. So you want to make sure you get him first.
Yeah, you visited with a lot of your buddies here on this trip. You have them throughout the league, but especially here. Dan Gladden does the radio, so he's a good friend of yours.
Yeah, he's
Bert Blylevin, of course, Jack Morris, and then today we sat in Paul Molitor's office for a long time.
And then Jack's sitting next to Ken Herbeck, I think.
Cave, this one, is that going to drop? Just foul.
See, can't he just miss this? Look at him get that arm out kind of early. You get in those situations, I don't know if he would have had it. You want to run with your arms pumping, get at the last second to try and lunge it out. It's the old football trick.
Yeah, as a wide receiver, you didn't run with your hands straight out attempting to get the ball. You ran like you were in a sprinting motion and then put your hands up.
Hopefully. I don't think you would have got it, but you never know.
Got him fishing. But the Twins plate 3. They lead at 3-1. Tigers will welcome last night's hero to the plate in the second. season has propelled Minnesota into a 2-run lead. Stay tuned to Tigers Live following the game, where we will select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game. It's presented by McDonald's. Jim Ducey leads off the second. Ducey last played against Kansas City on the 23rd. Went 1 for 2 in that game. Quickly ahead 2-0 here to Jake Odorizzi.
You can see that Odorizzi is fairly wild, is not established any kind of rhythm yet, and he's kind of all over the plate. Tiger hitters have been very patient, which is good.
Yeah, going to have to be against this guy.
This count right here, 2-0, you want to look right down the middle. Don't reach for anything.
Ducey had a big swing at it. Odorizzi is coming off back-to-back quality starts for the first time this year. Yankees and Tigers had a visit with Jack Morris before that start against the Yankees and went out and no-hit him through 7 1/3. Ducey goes the other way and fouls it away.
Ducey is the kind of guy who can't go either way. More of a contact hitter.
Not a power hitter, just 3 homers and 20 RBIs on the year. It's full to him.
Odorizzi likes to throw the ball inside to righties and lefties. It's a great purpose pitch. Now it kind of gives you the rest of the plate. You can do what you want. Maybe double it up, maybe go away. Change up there. He will throw you everything but the sink.
Yeah, he's got 5 pitches. So tough to sit on one particular pitch. Fastball, cutter, curveball, slider, and changeup.
Yep.
Doesn't throw that cutter very often, just 3% of the time. He'll take the free pass. The second starts the same as the first for the Tigers.
Time for the DTE Energy. Know your own power. Happened last night in the 8th inning. James McCann had been struggling all night long, really battling. He gets in a big spot here, fouls this one off, gets a hanger, pulls this foul, fouls another one off, and then payday down into the right field corner. 2-run score. I put the Tigers up 4-1. He had to smile.
Yeah, we asked Ron Gardenhire what allowed him to do that. He said, look, he shortened his swing, stayed on the ball. He compared it to playing like tennis.
Put the racket on the ball?
Yeah, put the racket on the ball. Perfect swing. Ron Gardenhire's been really impressed with James McCann this year. He's played hurt, but never talks about it, never complains about it. Not once has he said, I'm a little too banged up to play. Tough kid. One and one to him.
No, at some point I think McCann could be a guy, a hit-run guy. Look at that hole over there on the right side of the infield. There, Tyler Austin is holding the runner. Look at this, all money right there. Just look at it like green falling off the trees.
Tried to go that way and does. Looper into right, chased down by Robbie Grossman. And here's Jacoby Jones. Carries that 5-game hitting streak in tow, where during that stretch he's batting .316.
Yeah, he's swinging the bat way better, laying off a lot of curveballs. Havoc on the bases. A little too over aggressive late in yesterday's game. Made an out. We had a discussion about it today, and he wants to get better. He he knows exactly on his own what he wants to do next time. But you're always trying to pressure your opponent. Try and make him make a play, make him make a play. It wears him down. Trying to think what I could give you a new analogy that I could give you something to do that might wear you down over and over and over.
There's plenty. Go on one of those long walks with you.
No, you'd be so far out in front of me.
Jones is gaining some admirers. You and I have talked to a number of different visiting broadcasters, guys who've been in your position before, and they, I don't want to say marvel at his athleticism in center field, but they do appreciate what he brings to this Tigers lineup defensively, and they can see some improvements taking place in the box.
Yeah, 1-2 count. This is a Mike Socia special. He puts his runners in motion a lot. 1-2. Partly because of the count.
Why, because you think you're getting an off-speed pitch to the batter?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. But I know that Gardy is going to try and put more guys on the move, challenge your hitters.
Got him looking.
That ball looked outside from where I was. It looked pretty close, too close to take. Never made the plate. That is Jansen Visconti behind home plate. Number 52, Jansen Visconti.
Bob Shepard from Yankee Stadium. Is that what you're doing? Quick throw.
Trying.
Ducey's back in time. Dewalt Lugo stands in for the Tigers. Started so well, but lately it's been a challenge for him. I wonder if that's because more major league pitchers are getting some scouting reports on him now that he's been around a little bit. Time now for StatCast's AI, powered by AWS.
See, he spreads it around a little bit. That's why you don't have the full shift on second base. Logan Forsythe is in the partial position, not the full. The reason is quick. Well, they're on the phone. We're going to take a look.
Yeah, Tyler Austin motioned to the Twins dugout to take a look at that closer.
Pretty quick throw, I know that.
This is a delay that takes place in baseball a little bit now that I'm sure many people would like to see hastened a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't think they had a real good view, so take a look right here.
Just trying to catch him leaning, right, Gibby?
I mean, that's a balk move. He clearly breaks his front side. Watch his front left leg. He bends it. It doesn't see that.
He does.
That's
You're
a
right.
balk. Where's Bob Davison when you need him? Balking Bob.
You know the Twins don't have one balk all year. Not one as a staff.
Well, that's a balk in my book. They probably would not agree.
This Twins pitching staff has set a franchise record for strikeouts as well. They're up 127 from a year ago. Punch to right through the hole. Ducey will stay at second, and Dewalt Lugo has a base knock.
Good job right there of staying on the ball. As you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the whole true moment later in tonight's game. What will it be? Another James McCann game winner? Couple ribeye steaks? You like ribeyes or fillets?
I like both.
No, you got to pick one.
I'll take the fillet.
And what ounce?
10. I was going to go 12, but I don't want to sound like a pig.
Yeah, that gets a little filling. It hurts your dessert.
Your dessert. Did you have some tonight?
I did.
Oh, I assume
Yeah,
I assume you had just ice cream today.
One
right?
of my pet peeves when you're at a restaurant and they close at 11.
Well, they closed the kitchen at 11. That's what
Okay,
happened last night.
so you go in there, you eat, and then you say, well, I mean, I knew what the answer was. Yes, sir. Do you have a dessert menu, please? They say, oh, I'm sorry, the kitchen's closed. Oh, that's right. The knives are locked up to cut the cake.
Yeah, Gibby's not happy.
No. Well, I mean, they do it several places. And your tip amount just got reduced by 15%. Thank you anyway.
Oh, Ronnie Rodriguez pops it up. On the infield, Logan Forsythe is going to take care of it. Yeah, we'll try to find some pie, cake. You know, there are cupcakes in the booth, kid, if you want them. Game against the Marlins joined Kurt Schilling, Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, Clayton Kershaw, and Chris Sale as just the 6th pitcher since 1990. Look out. Deep fly ball, left field. Johnny Field has just left the field.
This is right down the middle. And Johnny Field was ready. These Twins are ready. First pitch, I know it's at least 2 hits that were first pitch variety.
Just to finish that thought on Scherzer, first since 1990 to record 300 strikeouts in a single season. Of course, there is a Tigers pitcher who did that. I'll tell you who that is in a minute. Free swinging, Chris Jimenez.
You're talking this era or another era?
Talking this era. Well, what's the era? Where's the limit?
You tell me.
1974, Mickey Loach.
Yep. Knew that one.
Okay. That's the era.
Oh, so that's the answer.
That's the answer.
That was my answer. I thought you were going to trim it down to the last 10 years, and I was going to go like Scherzer, Verlander in that area. But the Mick.
Yeah, I don't think Verlander's done it. Not 300. Scherzer's done it twice in his career now. Scherzer also now has won the strikeout crown for a 4th straight year. And in the division era, only Nolan Ryan and Randy Johnson have done that 4 times. Jimenez, another foul into the stands. And then I don't think Max Scherzer is going to get another start. Okay, he might, but I doubt it. Is that Cy Young worthy? Because what you're looking at, he leads the National League with 18 wins. He leads the National League in WHIP as well, and he leads the National League in strikeouts. Well, what do you think? It's a good debate. It really is. Yeah. It's a fun debate.
Well, give me the criteria.
It's the criteria is what you think is the Cy Young Award winner, the best pitcher in the National League.
That's the criteria.
That's the criteria. 2nd strikeout of the night for Matthew Boyd.
Well, I think it is going to be tough. Scherzer and a disappointing Washington team. DeGrom, disappointing Mets team. I mean, how do you factor that in there?
I guess you have to look at those accomplishments and what they were able to do.
What day is the cutoff? When do I get to make my decision?
Last regular season game of the year. Jacob DeGrom has done something nobody's ever done before, and that's string together the number of quality starts that he's had. Joe Mauer to straightaway center field. Jones got a late break on it. It's going to drop in for a base hit.
Mauer's a machine. Straps it right in there. Ronnie couldn't get to it. Scenario where Jose Iglesias is really good at those.
That's career hit number 2,115 for Joe Mauer.
You saw him on the base. What would you say right now to Joe Mauer?
You've had a hell of a career. I hope you keep playing.
I'd say you're not going to take that, are you?
He said, absolutely. Considering I've been robbed of a few base hits over my career, why not?
Good pitch there. Matt did not get the call. Good slider. Boyd's got a lot of outs with his slider. 9 pitchers in the league. He recorded 200 outs. Let's look at this. The back door. He didn't get the call. This is what he needs to start doing. That's a pretty good pitch. Maybe a little outside. Get that on the corner. Yeah, Boyd's trying to become the 10th to record 200 outs with his slider. It's not much of a dominating pitch.
His strikeouts coming into the game tonight, 156, most by a Tigers lefty since Mickey Lolich did it in '74.
Blanco had a hefty cut at that, didn't he?
Sure did. From the right side, after going 2 for 5 from the left side last night. Polanco walked, stole second, and scored in the first on Robbie Grossman's RBI single up the middle.
Mauer could take off. I don't think he will, though. He's a big, tall drink of water, isn't he?
A grounder to short, could be 2. Lugo on the turn, nicely done. Exactly what Matthew Boyd needed, but he gives up a first pitch home run here in the second, and the Twins extend their lead to 3.
Check this footwork out.
They lead at 4-1. Jamer Candelario leads things off here for the Tigers.
Spooky up here.
In the top half of the third.
Go ahead, Johnny. Let's see what you got.
After a pitch.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you could never have a surprise party for Gibby, could you?
Well, what do we have here? There we go. Look at this here.
Give him a chair.
Get over here and get
we're right in here. So here's the deal. So I heard you talking about not getting your dessert today.
Or last night.
Looks like that knife was rusty.
Hold on, I'm going to come in the middle here. No.
Looks like Johnny's wedding cake, doesn't it?
That's about a pound. So the guy who cut that is actually a lifelong Tigers fan. His name is Kurt. And he said, you know what, for Mr. Gibson, he says, my childhood hero, he said, I'll give him the biggest slice that he can handle. So
how did you find that guy?
Wait a second.
Hey, we were just on the move.
So great effort, but there's one thing severely wrong, Shep, you should know.
Yeah. Ice cream on the side.
There's no chocolate.
Oh, jeez. I'm not going to get chocolate.
Then you're not sincere.
Eat your cake.
That's good. Yeah. Thanks, Johnny.
Have your cake and
you
eat
guys
it too.
are so
I'm going to work.
He can have that cake and eat it too.
So I take that as a hint. As Gibby, you need to shut up.
Hey, Johnny, how long do you think it's going to take for him to finish that off?
Half inning.
Yeah, right.
Get that out of here.
He may not. That weighs a lot. You're going to have to walk a long way tomorrow morning.
Can I save this for fishing? I might be able to chum with it.
Oh, thank you, Johnny.
No problem.
Johnny's always thinking.
Yeah, he is.
You're going to have to keep your heads up here in the last couple of days.
Candelario drills one to center. Jake Cave covers a lot of ground out there.
There's a lot of it out there. You want some? I don't think that would travel very good, so we'll have to hammer it later.
I don't think that's fitting in your suitcase.
You know,
and going to Milwaukee.
Everybody's got to realize we have these earphones on. There's little things, little buttons that go to different ears. See these guys pushing their buttons over there. I knew something was up.
Johnny's pushing your buttons.
Yeah, well, I will warn you that if you get me good.
Oh, with
the
payback.
rules,
Yeah, I know. Listen, I've talked to people. I'm well aware.
One of my ex-employers, you don't go finger for finger.
Yeah, didn't we talk with somebody earlier this season who made the mistake of trying to pull one over on you in spring training, and he still doesn't know who got him back?
Oh.
He's not far from here either.
Yeah, well, he thinks it was me, right?
Yeah.
Somebody clipped his whole leg with his pants off when his bags were packed. This is the funny baseball joke.
Well,
that came from.
Well,
so
it was fun. It was funny to you, but I'm not sure how funny it was to that guy right there, Dan Gladden, your ex-teammate.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah, he is a tough guy.
He'd come out of his shower. There's white towels, a stack of white towels, right?
Right.
So what does Gladden do? His favorite is to put the shaving cream in the towels. So when you come out, you grab the towel, you start to wipe off, and guess what happens? Everybody starts laughing at you. So I got him back for that.
I've heard it was classic.
I'm not going to say I clipped the leg off, but I will say I saw who did.
You got to finish the story, though.
No,
the funny part of the story is that everything was packed. You guys were about to go on the road.
It's the last game of the year in Yankee Stadium.
Oh, okay. So, but everything was packed up. You're about to come back, and Dan Gladden had one pair of jeans hanging in his locker. That's it.
The funniest part was when he went to put them on. He put the good leg in first. He didn't notice it. Then he went to put the other one in. He says, "Oh man." And I
the
said,
second one rips off because it was.
No, it didn't rip off. There was none.
Right?
There was none. I said, "Well, why would anybody mess with you? You don't mess with anybody, do you?" My way of letting him know.
People are on the lookout for him.
And he said, he accused me of knowing who did it. I said, I do, but I promised him that I wouldn't tell. And he says, he starts doing this thing like his chest to my chest. Yeah, but we're tighter than you and that guy.
We're brothers,
man. Yeah, we're brothers. I said, well, maybe not. A little closer to this guy. Dan Gladden was a great teammate. He was a gamer deluxe. who's a great fun to play with, he got after it.
Got some incredible stories.
Yeah, he really got after it. He didn't lay
You
down.
could share that cake with him if you want. He's invited us out after tonight.
See
Talk
what
a little
time the
baseball.
kitchen closes.
Yeah, let's see.
He likes to talk baseball.
6 straight balls thrown by Jake Odorizzi. Making 7 in a row. Tigers had a few chances last night before breaking through. Trailing here and an ugly pitching line for Odorizzi. They'd like to get to him here in the 3rd.
Get a hold of it, Nick.
Two straight 4-pitch walks for Jake Odorizzi. Support the Tigers Foundation annual Favorite Things auction featuring items from some of your favorite Tigers. From now until October 8th, bid on gift baskets featuring watches, concert tickets, and plenty of autographed memorabilia. To bid and for more information, visit tigers.auctions.mlb.com.
Now think about your Nico. You walk 2 guys on 8 pitches, right? Are you ready to swing here?
No, I would not. You?
Well, if you had the confidence, it could be right down Broadway, down Woodward Avenue, like right in the middle of that square right there. But you got to stay on top of it. You can't try and lift it, especially in this part. You may try a slider, though.
Goodrum 12 RBIs in 13 games against his old squad. Struck out swinging back in the 1st to end the frame.
Got to stay off that high heater. Look down in the zone. So the catcher and the pitcher, what are they thinking? Are they thinking the same thing? Are they going to give in? Probably not.
Finally, Odorizzi gets one over.
I would say that's a little too high anyway. Didn't want that. That probably would go into the air, so good take.
Just outside, 1-1 to Nico Goodrum.
Tight zone. Pitcher or hitter friendly. Sniff something other than a heater here. Ooh.
1-2.
That's what he wanted.
Went for the downs.
Now it's got to get a little shorter. Odorizzi is sneaky. Just right by him.
Watch for the pickoff, and Stewart is back. We were talking with Paul Molitor before the game, asking him about Nico Goodrum, and he knows the numbers against him. He says he's really hammered us this year. I didn't realize he was so revengeful.
He said he's matured a lot.
Yeah.
Of course, he had him in the minor leagues.
Right back up the middle. Base hit for Nico Goodrum. Christian Stewart's got to hustle to get home. He will, and the Tigers are within 2.
This one's down the middle. Get a good fastball. Look at it, it's just a little lower. That's the difference. Nico's better down low, and he hammers it right up the middle. Great at bat. Had that good at bat yesterday, and everybody thinks this is going to be a play at the plate. But that throw came in from Jake Cave, and it was tailing off. So very smartly, it's cut by the Twins, holding the Tiger runners at 1st and 2nd.
How about the night for Kristen Stewart? A triple, a run driven in, on base twice, and he just scored a run. Somebody's Ram pick the stick is coming through. Gibby, here's Jim Adducey. Walked his first time up. Big cut, 0-1. I like when you talk about Stewart's at bats, especially the walks, because too often times we don't appreciate free passes as a good at bat.
You know, we talked about it in our open. It starts things, it links things. Okay, so you got walk, hit. You're not. It's hard to get 3 hits in a row. How many times do you see that? Watch the game. How many times do you get 3 in a row? So if you get walk, hit, it kind of, that's 4 good ones, and you're probably going to have a run or 2 on the board.
Well, you always talk about 4 good at bats in a row. Remember what Minnesota did in the first inning. They scored 3 runs. They had 3 hits in a row.
You're going to get a run with that, unless somebody runs into an out.
Good stop by Jimenez.
And I'm just sitting here watching the Tigers. You know, we're talking about the winning ways, and I know Gardy's been talking about fundamentals. So, you know, these guys are on base here. You got Nick and you got Nico. They got to work. It's got to be on time. Now watch, he should walk in here and be hitting that foot just about the time it crosses the.
Why do some players do that? Why do they go behind the bag a little bit and then walk toward the pitcher in their leadoff, like Castellanos just did there?
Well, I tell you what I did, because that shortstop's right over here. So if I back up, he's got to go through me. You understand what I'm saying? Now see, he can block him out. Now he's coming in. This is good. Hop, perfect.
Is there an illusion to it that Castellanos is getting further off the bag by walking toward the pitcher?
No, I think when you're further back, you would look probably farther off. You'd look closer, I think, if you're. But you know, he's stepping back. It's just kind of a rhythm mechanism. The most important thing is when the ball crosses the plate, you have to be at a certain spot. So really, where you start doesn't matter, because you need to have some movement into it. Well, he's walking in. He's reading this pitch. 2 strikes. If it's in the zone, you're getting ready to go.
Key out there for Odorizzi. There's 2 down.
High fastball. Right down the heart of the plate. Ducey can't catch up. That will leave it up to James McCann again. Be big for James. What a great at bat he had last night. Everybody's feeling happy for him. Let's let it continue. Flew out to right field in his first at bat.
Just outside. One and one.
Seems like mostly fastballs this inning. Throwing it by Nico, but didn't get the second one by him. Nico had the RBI. Got a Ducey. Now after James.
McCann hitting .211 this year in the series against Minnesota this season.
Probably a little high. Pretty much all fastballs, as I said. May get a slider here, but you just have to shorten up. Can't have quite as big of a swing.
Poke just foul.
Nico is good behind now. Take a look from his view. He's the trail runner. Tyler Austin is back. So you want to get off here as much as you can and cut this distance down. Hop, 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 run. Set yourself up. You're probably not going to sneak in behind there. Albert Pujols, Eddie Murray, those type of guys. Freddie Freeman. Got to watch out for their sneaking.
28th pitch of the inning. Do it again.
Get too aggressive out there, they'll back cut you. But I dare.
Last time out against Detroit, Odorizzi 6 1/3, 2 runs, 6 Ks. At this rate, doubt he makes the 6th.
Top of the 3rd,
7.
60 pitches, 61. Probably going to elevate.
Hey, Tigers fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with the Fox Sports app. Download the Fox Sports app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you. It's made available by Oakland University.
That's a long visit. Went out and got him. Don't see that very often. The umpire goes out and gets him. Just breaks up the conference. Let's see, where's the MVR on the board here? You got it?
Second mound visit.
Where's it at? Where's the indicator?
I just saw the home plate umpire hold up 2 fingers. So Jansen Visconti telling us from his vantage point. McCann goes the opposite way. Clutch hit. Let's see if Castellanos can score. The throw to the plate, not in time. Castellanos is in there, and the Tigers have pulled to within 1.
So we're talking about everybody on the move, be ready to go. The Twins outfielders are coming in really strong. There's the pitch by pitch, and James does a good job. Actually, a pretty good start by both of them. Charged real well by Robbie Grossman. It's a hard pick for Jimenez. The Tigers score another within 1. James McCann, he's having a pretty good finish to the trip.
No question.
Boy, James.
See if Jacoby Jones can bounce back from a strikeout last time up. Get the Tigers even. Right back up the middle. But right there is the second baseman, Logan Forsythe. But the Tigers get a little bit closer. The reason Minnesota's in front, a combined 751 foot of homers. We'll show you what the mistakes were when we come back.
couple of home runs for Matt Boyd. He's not gotten them where he's wanted them to see. They're right there, up, middle, in. First one to Tyler Austin in the first, and the second to Johnny Field in the second. The Tigers will come back to score 3, trail by a run here as we go to the bottom of the third. Matt Boyd, two innings and 5 hits, 4 runs so far with the strikeout and the walk.
One of those guys who hit one of those homers, Tyler Austin, will be batting in this frame. Logan Forsythe leads off, the second baseman, then Robbie Grossman, and then Austin. Boyd 26 pitches in the first, 13 in the second.
So if you're Matt Boyd right now, if you could get inside his head, what do you think he's thinking, feeling? I want everybody to think about it that's watching right now. What do you think he's thinking?
I want a quick inning. I'd like a 1-2-3 inning. My team gave me an early lead. I didn't hold it. My team has now gotten me a little bit closer.
How are you going to do it?
Better command.
Well, right now his slider and his breaking ball are not what they have been in the previous. You think about the good curveballs, they start almost outside and upper, and then they slice down and into the righties. Slider's a little sharper than it is right now. His fastball location, so I believe he's trying to make an adjustment. Probably he's thinking it's mechanical. He's probably trying to make a little mechanical adjustment to get it right. Maybe he's overthrowing it right now because the other ones didn't break as far as he wanted to, so maybe he's overthrowing it. It looked like that right there. He really tried to make that one move. So he's searching. This is a in-game responsibility, and he's committed to it. He's battling. He's doing what he can do, and if he finds it, he'll be on his way. And if you're Ron Gardenhire, this is his last start of the year, so you're going to let him go as long as it's reasonable and prudent.
Good start to the inning. Johnny Kane, you talked with Matt Boyd. He doesn't look at it like it's his last start of the year, does he?
Yeah, he's one of the deep thinkers on this team, and he basically says, I look at it as I'm just making another start. He's got a start coming up today, and then he's got another start 5 months from now. He's not really trying to put it all on, hey, this is my last start of the year. But you remember his last outing against Kansas City only lasted an inning in the third, gave up 5 earned runs. He said seasons aren't based on individual performances. Like, seasons are linear, just like careers in baseball are linear. The idea is you take the baseball every day and you continue to go out and attack with every pitch. He really just narrows the scope entirely. He says you get the baseball, you continue to move ahead, you continue to progress forward and make the adjustments that are necessary. So obviously today a little shaky start to get going, but hopefully he can find himself a little bit more now. I do know that Matthew's dad is actually here. I'm out here in straightaway center field, and I was just talking to one of the ushers, and he said, yeah, before the game I saw a guy wearing a Tigers cap out here, and he was eating a cheeseburger. I walked over to him, and he said, yeah, it's my boy is starting today. So he said Matthew started pitching when he was back 4 years old, and of course his dad coached him up through his younger ranks, and just kind of talked about the journey it took for him to get here to be starting in a late September game here in the Bigs.
Now there's 3-0. He tried the slider, the changeup, and 2 fastballs. So he is trying to find what he can get over, what's going to work for him. See what he does here after the 4-pitch walk to Robbie Grossman.
Just one other thought, guys. I asked him kind of where the mind and body is at this point in a season, and different guys will tell you different things, but he said, honestly, I feel good. He says, I feel just as good as I did at the beginning of the season, maybe even a little bit stronger. He said he feels blessed in that sense. So it's not a matter of fatigue right now. It's just finding what works.
Yeah, he's different than most other pitchers, isn't he, Johnny? I mean, he talks on game days, but his mind, the way he thinks and his philosophy, a little different than a lot of guys you and I talk to, don't you think?
Yeah, and I think if you look at this just rotation as a whole, I mean, it's the thing about baseball is so beautiful is you have, let's say you have your 5 starters in your rotation. Each guy is unique in how they attack their business. But of course, everybody still has a common philosophy that they get, and that comes from Rick Anderson. But these guys all to to a man will say that Andy has really helped, stabilize this rotation when healthy. Obviously, we've seen what they've been able to do. But yeah, when I think of deep thinkers, I think about a Daniel Norris. Sometimes they say that maybe he thinks maybe a little too much. But with Matthew Boyd, it honestly just comes down to each individual pitch and attacking that hitter.
Good conversation with Johnny and Spencer Turnbull in Tigers Live pregame earlier. And Turnbull throwing a really nice game at these Twins last night. He became the first Tigers pitcher to throw 6 or more innings and allow 1 run or less in one of his 2 first major league starts since Kyle Ryan did it back in 2014.
Yeah, a refreshing conversation with Spencer Turnbull. I mean, he's still a young man, but you figure his path to get here and what he's been able to do, obviously, in his 2 starts. And then he's slated to throw the final game of the regular season, which is coming up on Sunday in Milwaukee, where he'll actually pick up a bat. He said in high school, he was actually a pretty good hitter. He said he was a better hitter than he was pitcher, but that was a couple years back. So I don't know if he'll be swinging freely on Sunday, but something we'll look for. But Spencer Turnbull's another guy that I think we're all looking forward to seeing what he can do long term.
Austin just got hurt, I think.
Yeah, speaking of free swinging, so Paul Mullet out there looking at his first baseman, who took Matthew Boyd yard in the first.
Well, he really let it go, and it looks like the ball's up. A lot of torque on your hands, fingers, wrists, elbows, shoulders. You're everything.
Guys want to stay in a situation like this, but you injure your forearm, your wrist, your hand. It's tough to swing.
Yeah, if you break a finger, football you can tape it to the other finger. Not here. Remember they used to have the ethyl chloride, the little silver canister they run out there and spray it with?
Yeah.
When you're a little kid. Does anybody remember that?
I do, yeah. You almost wanted to get hurt so you could have somebody spray that on you, didn't you?
It's totally
Seriously.
topical.
Yeah.
It was totally topical. It just kind of froze where the area was. Let me freeze it. We won't.
How about smelling salts? You ever have smelling salts when you're in high school?
After luxury before a football game.
I was out in a game against Plymouth Salem once, and they needed that to
Concussion?
get me up there. Yeah, I ended up having a concussion. One of 2. Probably explains an awful lot as you get to know me. Austin's home run back in the first went 375 feet.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to want to swing hard again. Throw another one up top. 1-2 count. You got one to waste. Looked like that really torqued that area that he was getting looked at.
Double play ball would be great right here for Matthew Boyd.
And I've been told that pitchers sometimes go to the bullpen, they feel great. Come out in the mound, they got nothing, and vice versa.
I wonder why that is.
It
Mound's
does
a little different.
Same with hitting.
Grossman is yet to steal a base. Maybe that's why some of the Twins fans are a little restless when it comes to that.
You know what I call that? We had 3 guys involved in that game. You know what it's called? Blink Fest.
Who's going to blink first, huh? You
Well,
got
Boyd's on the mound.
Grossman,
He's holding. Grossman's there.
and Austin.
Austin's
Right?
really on him.
Stroke to left for Kristen Stewart. 2 outs here in the Minnesota third. Copies are still available of the new book 3. It's a salute to Alan Trammell. Relive the career of Tigers legend and 2018 Hall of Fame inductee Alan Trammell with this must-have item. Order a copy today by visiting tigers.com/Trammell3.
Talked to Tram today. He just got back from the instructional balls where the youngsters are. They continue for 6 weeks, I believe it is, down in Lakeland.
So
Working
we won't
fundamentals.
see him in Milwaukee then,
No,
unfortunately.
and he's trying to plan our annual snowmobile trip across the Upper Peninsula.
Hopefully that snowmobile survives.
Oh, it's no brainer. All the way up to Copper Harbor. Been there?
I have not.
You know where it's at?
I do.
I believe the population, I'm going to say the full-time population is certainly less than 100, maybe 50. But it's a very nice place. We go there every year. It falls under the baseball season's almost over. What are you going to do?
Yeah, have some fun outdoors, right? Well,
Yeah.
you have fun even in season, baseball season. But you and I were talking with Ron Gardenhire the other day. He's really excited to explore all of Michigan. Hasn't really had much of an opportunity to do that.
Yeah, he's from over this way.
Yeah, he's got a house about 3 hours from here. Blaine Hardy just built a house a little north of Minneapolis as well. I asked him, Blaine, have you seen the house yet? I mean, what's it like? How's it decorated? He says, haven't even been in it yet. My wife's handling it, and my in-laws are handling it because they just purchased it. As Stadillo pops it up, Lugo drifting out, he'll make the grab. And Matthew Boyd is out of the third. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
You're talking one team, or for the? I would take Milwaukee as a sleeper.
Wow, really?
Milwaukee is 2-1 up on St. Louis right now. They're a half a game back of the Cubs.
Okay.
Somebody's year.
How about a game for Dewell Lugo? Couple of base hits.
Yeah, he's needed it.
Both to the right side.
I didn't. Keats, are you there?
He's always there.
You got to get Keating's pick. I mean, you
Listen
know,
to that laugh.
Yeah.
He's ready.
If I picked the Dodgers, which I probably normally would do, I would get accused of being a homer. So I'm going Brewers, Brew Crew.
Okay. Keats?
Keats, your pick? Your pick, Keats?
Because it's closest to Grand Haven? I think it's closest to Grand Haven. That's why you like them.
And Shep, who you got?
I'm gonna side with the Dodgers.
3 good picks.
Thanks, Keats. We'll see you in the Call Sam Studios a little later. Yeah, they probably
Keats,
will.
that new
well, Steve
coming
Knight would
up.
have picked the Rockies a long time ago. Of course, John Keating used to work in Denver under the name of Steve Knights. In case of you, those of you who haven't followed us over the decades of John Keating's career.
They call that stage name?
Ronnie Rodriguez lays down a bunt. Has to deal with all kinds of issues. How about that, Gibby?
Smart.
Well done. That's thinking baseball right there, isn't it?
Just taking what they're giving you.
Astudillo's third start at third base. Played catcher last night. Give it a shot.
Yeah, he hasn't had a ton of time over there. Ronnie did a good job. Took his time. And Lugo was thinking about going to third, a la Jacoby Jones, but smartly held up. He hasn't made that play too many times in his career.
I would guess not.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the coaches said, "Hey, take a look down there." You know, that's what, or a teammate. Could be a teammate. Hey, been watching. You know, he's not in very far at third. He hasn't been playing over there. Doesn't have many games. Take a look. Leave it to Candy.
0-1 to him. Walked and scored in the first. Flew out to center in the third.
So the Tigers, their second time through the lineup against Odorizzi.
Odorizzi's thrown 69 pitches. 31 of those have been balls. Wow.
Not a great ratio.
38 strikes, 31 balls. That's a very poor ratio.
We talk about the cold air, how players like it a little chilly and pitchers do, but it could be just the opposite. It could be one of those temperature times humidity equals slippery on the ball.
1-2 to Jamer Candelario.
This guy right down below us, he's getting booed.
Couldn't hold on to it?
No, bid him. Listen to them, they're really giving it to him.
They are.
Get your ball!
What's wrong with you?
Not easy.
2-2 to Candelario.
I like the ball into Candy. He swings that pitch really well. Now they went up and in. Are they going to try the breaking ball down underneath his hands now?
Hitting 204 is a left-handed stick, but he's got most of his power from this side of the plate. 13 of his 19 homers have come as a left-handed hitter. Barely missed. It's full to the Tigers' leadoff man with runners at first and second.
Nobody out. Would not send. You know, chance for a triple play. You got first and second. You got the pressure on. You may think, I'm going to stay out of the double play. It's too much of a risk in my book.
I don't disagree with you. You don't want to run yourself out of it. Fouled away.
It is a way of showing confidence in your players by putting that on. It's part of a process to get them to believe in themselves. Kristen Stewart on deck. Stay hot.
Just missed it.
So he's pretty much viewed all of his pitches.
A lot of souvenirs, though, for folks as Tyler Duffy warms.
But he's not going to make himself too susceptible. If you jump out there and he pulls the string on you, you're toast. Don't want that to happen. Minimally, you want to try and get the guys advanced.
Bases are loaded.
You wanted that. pretty tight pitch. It's like all night. Hitter gets the call. Good battle. Candy battles all the way back. Looks like it was inside about 3 inches. That's going to be it.
Yeah, Paul Molitor seeing something, especially with that fastball. Gave you less than half of his fastballs tonight have been thrown for strikes. Paul Molitor has seen enough. His team leads 4-3. The Tigers with their best threat of the night, though, when we return.
It happened. We're talking about making winning plays. Kristen Stewart about a week ago that started making adjustments on the fly, swung and missed, shortened up into a walk. That was a bases loaded walk, scored a run. And I said right after that, I'd like that at bat. He's starting to make the adjustments, stay back. Here we find him a week later in the same situation. What will the outcome be? See if he is going to get a new pitcher. It's a Wallside Windows pitching change. Tyler Duffy. It's 23 innings. You see the ERA is inflated. Home runs allowed 6. So it stacks up. Stewie gets his good pitch. Should have a good result.
Did throw against the Tigers on the 17th inning and gave up a run. Stewart's already had a productive night. RBI triple in the first, and he walked and scored in the third.
He will see another off-speed pitch. He could sit on it until the end of the bat. I doubt that he would throw 2 fastballs in a row.
Pounded to center. Cave drifting back. That'll get the run home. The Tigers have tied it. And a good piece of base running by Dewald Lugo to tag and score, and Ronnie Rodriguez to tag and move up to third. Menards brings you the big money encounter. Nicholas Castellanos does not mind facing Tyler Duffy whatsoever.
6 for 17, 3 doubles. And they ground out in a walk. Scored a run tonight so far.
Castellanos has 31 hits in the month of September, more than anybody in the American League. Also has 14 RBIs this month. Two and 0 to him. Castellanos has hit safely in 7 of his last 8 games. And in 22 games this month. That's a lot. Seeing it so well. Just caught the outside corner. Castellanos might have thought that was a little low.
Yeah, it looked like it was right down in the corner. Borderline. I know he didn't want it. He's not trying to hit a ground ball here. Pretty good job of framing it by Jimenez.
Big cut to foul it away and even the count at 2-2.
3-2. I'm thinking he's on the move.
Got him reaching. That's a huge out there for Tyler Duffy. Nico Goodrum has been a pain in the side of the Minnesota Twins this season. 5 homers against Minnesota.
Likes that pitch down and in. He's down in general last time, swung and missed at a pitch up in the zone. Got one down and hammered it. He should be hunting down.
Batting .298 against the Twins. Aggressive approach there, 0-1.
But Duffy's thrown 3 first pitches. All have been off speed with guys at first and third.
17th career game against the Tigers for Tyler Duffy. 0-2 to Goodrum. Tough not to try and do too much as a hitter in a situation like this. This is where Kirk Gibson talks about shortening your swing.
Hey, you gotta, I mean, my mindset, everybody has a different mindset, but my mindset here is to not let him do what he just did to me 2 times in a row. That's how I stayed back.
Duffy wins that battle, but the Tigers do even the score. We're tied at 4 as we head to the bottom of the 4th.
Knotted up at 4 apiece. Matthew Boyd coming out here for the 5th inning, and we are pleased to be joined by Matthew's dad, Kurt. How goes it?
Hello, Johnny. I'm fine. Hello, Johnny. No, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Well, what do you think here? I know, we were just talking earlier in the broadcast. The thing we like about Matt so much is he's a deep thinker. You know what I mean? He's wired a little bit differently, but not in a bad way. He's just wired differently. What do you make of his makeup?
You know, Matt's always been a pretty level-headed kid. Growing up, playing ball, he's always a learner, always asking questions and trying to improve his game. I think that shows over the course of the 2.5 years he's been up here in the major leagues. He slowly gets better and better. He maybe takes a step up and step back and then another 2 steps up. So he slowly progresses just like he did through the minor leagues and the majors. Matt's, he's always taught, I coached him growing up, and I should be able to come to the game and not see that score, but I should be able to come to the game, not look at the scoreboard, and not know whether he's winning or losing. And Matt's always done that. I mean, he's pretty level-headed. He's a really good teammate, and I think he's always looking to improve.
It's sometimes easier said than done. We know sometimes the game can speed up on certain guys, but Matthew always talks about just, he's got to attack one pitch. He also talked about kind of careers and seasons. He says, looks like we're going to hold him to a single here, but he says, baseball careers, they are linear. They're not based on one individual performance. Let's say if he doesn't have his best stuff, he's able to come out the next time and kind of wipe the slate clean. Now, I understand he first picked up a baseball. Was he starting to pitch when he was 4?
Did he start to pitch when he was 4?
Well, I mean, was he?
No, he started to throw and swing a bat at 4, Throw around the old plastic Bam bat.
Well, I thought it was pretty young.
He was a right-hander. We flipped him over to left-hand. It took a while, but and left-handed hitting. But, he always would gravitate to the right side, and then I'd come over there and give him a different mitt. Throw it this way, or if he hit on the right side versus the left side, I'd pick him up, put him on the other side of the plate.
Now they're having a quick little mound visit here right now as we're, again, tied at 4 apiece here in the bottom of the 4th inning. What kind of advice have you given Matt now that he's here? I know he always credits you for, again, helping to build the foundation, but now that he has established himself as a major league starter, what's the advice you continue to give him?
I think advice, I actually don't give him much advice now. He's pretty level-headed. He continues to improve, look for other ways to improve. So I'm always, challenging him. What could you have done better? How could you have done better? He admits his faults and when he has a bad day. And at the same time, I think, I think he puts a lot of time, and I've asked him, what he does in between starts, and I mean, his workout, he works out hard, he studies film. He was showing me last night some of the apps that he has on, that he's got available to him through the Tigers and MLB, and how he studies attacking hitters. He's always trying to improve, and that's really on him. I mean, I guess he's just mature beyond his years. I think so.
Do you still get nervous?
Pardon me?
Do you still get nervous?
Oh, yeah. Well, I got nervous that first inning. Like, what is going on? But, there we go.
Not a home run. Instead, a double off the top of the wall. And the Twins have runners at second and third.
What was that pitch?
What was that pitch, guys?
That pitch hit just the top of the wall in left. And Paul Molitor is going to want to ask for a review here.
79 mile per hour curveball?
Might have been. Was that a curveball, guys?
Actually, change up, and the one prior was inside. Looked like it might have been a slider out the body. That's going to be a home run, I believe. It went into the trees. Probably come over and take a look.
was called a.
Ground
It was ruled no home run on the field.
Could have went in
I think it was Larry Vanover down that third base line who made that call.
went in the shrubs up there, I believe, over that line.
You think it hit the shrubs up there?
Yeah, I think it went in the box.
I thought it hit just the top of the wall. It was a really good look at it.
So he disappears.
Yeah, you're right, Gibby. It looks like it goes over the wall and hits the concrete behind it. Yep, home run. That's the second homer of the night for Johnny Field. And our thanks to Kurt Boyd for joining us. And the Twins claim the lead right back. Chris Jimenez now stands in. First career multi-homer game for Johnny Field.
Looks like we got some action out there in the bullpen. Sandy's Baez. Yeah, both of those balls hit this inning. Looked like they just spun on the inside part of the plate. On the off-speed type. Looked like Matt was getting it together. The Twins come out swinging. Got to give them some credit as well.
3 homers on the night for Minnesota.
Good news, 6-4, bottom of the 4th. Lots of time for the Tigers.
Stroke to left. Right at Stewart, 1 down here in the 4th.
Talking about with Jack Morris today, he gave some runs up, and Jack was very intense. And you don't want to make somebody snap, right? You want to push their buttons at a time like that. And some guys will say, pat him on the rear end and say, come on, go get him. Other guys will try to avoid him, don't want any eye contact. And Jack had a situation like this, and he just came in and said, I never lost with 10 runs. Let's go. Swing the bats. And I believe we came back that game. Like I said, you're in the bottom of the 4th. You've got plenty of time left. You've proven you can get to their pitching. So it's not ideal, but you can't let this deter your goal tonight, which is to beat the Twins.
Joe Mauer singled his last time up in a 1-for-2 night so far.
That was a breaking ball right there. It really did break.
Mauer has reached base 353 times in his career against the Tigers. That's 133 more than any active player. That would be Alex Gordon of the Royals would be second in that category.
You see Matt's breaking ball, he's just not getting a good finish on tonight. It's kind of just spinning, doesn't have the sharp break. And here as the Twins get coming around again, they seem to be recognizing that pitch.
To left field, Stewart, nice running grab to make it 2 down.
.79 pitches. Good job, Stewie. Out to the side where you can see it. You don't ever want to lose sight of the baseball. Get it out the side. If you overrun it, you can adjust better, quicker, and not get jammed up by your positioning.
Polanco bounced into a double play last time up. Batting .319 his last 17 games. Tries to lay one down. Boyd fields the position well, but throws it away.
Cardi's gonna come out. It could be it. Take a look. Everybody moving, backing up. Take a quick look right here. Just lays it down with 2 outs. You're not expecting it. You see Candy moving back. Throws the ball up the line. That'll be it for Matt.
Yep, the 6 earned runs, tied for the most he's allowed all season long. Is brought to you by Bell Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. By Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. And by Meridian Care, Medicare Advantage plans. Not the way Matthew Boyd wanted to end the season.
Yeah, it's a tough day. Didn't have his good stuff, and give Minnesota some credit. And a pretty good play there by Polanco. Tigers got an error on the throw, and they'll have to shut down Logan Forsythe.
Sandy Baez is in. 8th appearance of the season.
And what we see in Sandy's a very electric arm, high velocity. Secondary pitches have to be coming to play though when you get behind, and his biggest problem so far as of late has been that he's not commanding the zone and getting ahead in the count.
Started his Tigers career by tossing 10 2/3 of scoreless innings. Allowed a run middle of this month to Cleveland, and the last 5 outings it's been a little bit more challenging for him.
It is challenging, just like we've been talking a lot about Kristen Stewart, Noel Lugo, Ronnie Rodriguez, Candy, Nico, all the youngsters. Got to make adjustments, got to do it on the fly, and this is why he's in the game today. And you hope you start to see a pattern of sorting it out, much the way Spencer Turnbull did last night after getting in trouble in the first 2 hitters.
Forsythe really late on that pitch.
He's guarding against off speed, so you give that up as a hitter. You could, if you ramp up and make sure you got the head out on that pitch right there, they throw you anything off speed, you're toast. You're out. You don't want that, so you got to concede a little bit. Hopefully, it's not 96 up and in.
2-2 to Logan Forsythe. Playing in his 46th game with the Twins. Remember, he was traded here from Los Angeles in the Brian Dozier deal. He had 28 hits in August. Only 15 this month. Tapped foul.
Good fastball up and in. Get him.
Instead, it was low and away, but a result that he'll take. Fourth strikeout by a Tigers pitcher, but the Twins climb back in front. College with Nissan. Pistons with their training camp at the Bill Davidson Student Center there on the campus of the University of Michigan. Dwayne Casey in his first year. Good hire.
You think so?
By Tom Gores and his crew. Yes, I do. He greatly improved members of the Toronto Raptors while he was there. And we'll have 3 preseason Piston games for you on Fox Sports Detroit. Nets, Wizards, and a new-look Cavaliers squad.
It'll be interesting to see. I don't get down to see the Pistons too much as of late. Used to watch them quite a bit when I was up there in the pier and they were at the Palace. But seemed like they needed a little structure adjustment.
Yeah, they could use some health too. I mean, it'd be great if Blake Griffin could stay healthy and Reggie Jackson could stay healthy.
But they knew Blake Griffin was going to probably be a guy that's going to have some problems, isn't he? He's big and athletic. Has had a lot of things happen.
Jim Adduci has struck out twice tonight. So the Pistons make their first visit to East Lansing since the 2000 preseason when they clashed with the Cavs on Friday, October 12th at the Breslin Student Event Center. It's at 7 o'clock. And for tickets, visit MSUSpartans.com or call 517-355-1610.
Wish they'd do one at Jenison. The old Jenison. You remember a game back
Oh,
there?
yeah.
Not went out of that barn.
That 79 team. You know, people used to argue who was better, the Michigan State 2000 champions or 79. I said, oh man, I don't even think it's close. I mean, with Magic Johnson and Gregory Kelser, who calls the games for us on Fox Sports Detroit, and Jay Vincent, Terry Donnelly, and Ron Charles, Mike Berkovich. No way. Anybody I missed there? Did he?
Yeah, they could do it all. Of course, Magic was the spoon that stirred the drink,
Oh, yeah.
straw.
He was phenomenal.
He was cutting edge back then, wasn't he? Tall, could handle the ball. It was almost hard to believe when he came out of high school.
Yeah, he was unique. Yeah, Lansing Everett. Just 2 years. That was all it took at the collegiate level. And then the very next year, he won a championship for Paul Westhead and the Lakers. Did you ever see those guys there? at Breslin? Did you ever watch that team? Or I mean, not at Breslin,
yeah,
but
yeah,
at
definitely
Genesee?
watched him. But
Yeah.
the national championship game, had hurt my knee down in spring training, so I was laying on the bed down at the Holiday Inn in Lakeland. Yeah.
You know exactly where it was, do you?
Oh, I do. Yeah. And it was Larry Bird against Magic.
Yeah, the thing is, nobody else can name anybody from that Indiana State team, and you can just about name everybody from the Michigan State squad.
They really brought basketball back in NBA. They really brought it in the right direction.
Yeah, right. When they then met, yeah. And I believe that national championship game remains the highest ever rated. I may be wrong there, but it wasn't too long ago where it was still that. Can fouls it back.
Hey, James has really been battling. Does have a big hit tonight in an RBI. Flew out to right field. That one in under his hands and just fisted off into the stands. That's what you want to do. Like I always say with 2 strikes, it's hard to put every ball in play hard. Just got to stay off the high one.
Can draws a walk.
It's big.
Really good at bat. Starting to turn the corner a little bit, and here's Jacoby Jones.
Here's the sequence right here, James Buchanan, and he takes the good eye. And he swung at some of those earlier in the series, so he's starting to get that jumpiness out of his system. For whatever reason, sometimes your lower half, I've said this before, you just watch the lower half, how quick it is. How, you get the guys that are nice and slow and they put the foot down and they stay in good hitting position. That's how you know. Just watch how quick the bottom half goes.
Jones couldn't hold up, 1-1.
I didn't think he did. Hunter Windelstead said he did. Had the 1-0 count, kind of half guessing strike right there.
Remember, Jones didn't like the call when he struck out in the second either. Thought that was off the plate. 2-1 to him.
See, he tried to come in with the fastball, then he came in with the off the body breaking ball. So it's designed to look like the fastball, and then you give up on it and it breaks over the plate. But it never did.
Fly ball to left, and a sliding grab made by Johnny Field.
Johnny Field's having a heck of a
I was just
game.
going to say, he's had himself a night, hadn't he? A couple of homers, first multi-homer game, and then this sliding grab to take away a base hit from Jacoby Jones.
Didn't know if it was going to pop out initially, but I think he got his glove underneath it. Yeah, he did.
Good concentration.
Yeah,
It's quite the divot too, huh?
yeah. Sometimes when your glove hits the ground, it can, jar it loose. If you can stay up on those, I think you want to do that.
And Lugo pops it up. Polanco is there. And a quick inning for Tyler Duffy and the Twins.
player, Jacoby Jones, top 9. This was against the Astros. Turned around and threw out Gurriel. A bullet that kept the score, I believe, tied. The Tigers did go on to lose that game, but this is the kind of plays that you need to make. The Tigers team seems much more, has different makeup, different abilities, more athletic, and those are the types of plays that help you stay in the game.
Yeah, we're trying to focus on that more and more tonight because of some of those little things done so well last night in a come from behind 4-2 win. And we've seen some of them on display here again on this Wednesday night. Game 2 of the 3-game series. Robbie Grossman, Tyler Austin, and Willens Astudillo due up. Enjoyed talking with Robbie Grossman in the Twins clubhouse before the game. Really good dude. Gonna go back to Houston when the season is over and recoup a little bit.
Yeah, he's a pretty good ball player.
Yeah, I think so.
All-around ball player. Can hit, can run, plays the outfield well. He's in right field. You know, it seems to me that the Twins have been swinging at the first pitch of every inning.
They are aggressive early in the count, that's for sure.
Give him something to swing at. Oops, that slipped.
I will say this, Gibby, you go into that clubhouse, those guys, they like you, man. They gravitate toward you. I don't know how well you know Robbie Grossman, but he enjoyed talking to you, that's for sure.
Well, I'm trying to get to know him. You know, I don't try to do it in an authoritarian way. I just like to hear him. Have great interest in the game going on in a good, positive fashion. And they're the ambassadors, right?
Yeah, and then when we went into Paul Molitor's office, he's got a number of baseball bats hanging on the wall, but he also has 2 signed guitars on his wall, which I found pretty interesting.
They had Bruce Springsteen. Who was the other one?
Eddie Vedder.
Eddie Vedder.
Right. Check swing by Grossman. Did he go? No, he did not.
I said I could do more damage with the bats. We've talked a little bit about the bats being shorter.
Yeah, those are great stories with when you were talking about the Goodrum slide into second from last night that drew some controversy, and you laughed because you thought Molitor did that more than once. And this one launched to right, could be up against the wall. It is off the top of the wall, played well by Castellanos. Grossman hustling to second. He's got himself a leadoff double in the 5th.
Tell you, these guys really aggressive. Right here you got Grossman getting the head out, 95-mile-an-hour fastball off the top of the fence. Nick almost had a good throw in here. Grossman hustling, couldn't get him.
Tyler Austin, who hit a 2-run shot in the 1st and then flew out to left in the 3rd.
So what do? You try and get Grossman over, give yourself up. You try and hit it out.
With Austin? No.
Yeah.
But the idea is to go the opposite way. So if you do make an out, you do get him to 3rd. You've taught me throughout the broadcast that you got to know your hitter. What kind of hitter is Tyler Austin? Can he do that?
Well,
he likes to take the bat out of his hands.
Yeah, he likes to be ahead of the count, and he likes a fastball right here. You got to really watch it.
.96 out of the zone, though.
Tyler Austin in the 1st inning got a hold of one as well. He crushed this middle in. Looked like a slider or a cutter that never really got where he wanted it. That made it 3-0 in the 1st. Tigers just battled back. Lost the lead, trailed now 6-4.
Twins have left the yard 3 times, and no one's left quicker than Tyler Austin. His 4th homer against the Tigers this year alone. That's our Xfinity high-speed look. Just how quickly the Twins can jump on the board. When people talk of handling pitching staffs by catchers, good example of it right there from James McCann, trying to settle down Sandy Baez, don't overthrow. And it worked for at least that first pitch after the visit. Not that one. Rough start to the 5th. And here comes Willens Astudillo.
This falls under the question you're supposed to ask for a rating. What do you do if the first guy gets on? What do you do if the first 2 guy gets on? Happens very quickly. Nobody out. Trailing 6-4, and you've got the first 2 Twins on the base. Austin on first, Grossman on second. Astudillo is the hitter. Well, here's a guy I'd hit and run with anytime, even right now.
In at the corners for the Tigers.
He
Goes
did
the
a
other
triple
way.
play.
That's going to be a double play. Is it a triple play? No! Nico Goodrum couldn't hold on to it.
That was a hit and run. That's the risk. We talked about that earlier in the game. This guy handles the bat. He never misses. Everybody's on the go. Nico couldn't quite pick it over there at first. We would have had it. They're going to check to see if he was on the bag at second. Watch this. Notice the youngsters up the middle have been a little quick to try and get off that bag.
Baez playing traffic cop. All right, they're going to take a look at it. Let's see.
Is he on the base? Nope.
Oh,
We're going to get one out of this.
boy, that's a great call by Paul Mullin.
You got to get outs. So you got to stay on that bag, get your out, and then worry about the next one. They're going to have still first and second, one out. Shouldn't take that long.
Yeah, you're about to. I mean, conceivably, you basically lost 2 outs here because it could have been a triple play. It was ruled a double play. Depending on how this review goes,
It's clearly off the base.
could be just 1 out.
It's going to be one out. This is the part I think that some complain that shouldn't take that long, and the pitcher's out there standing on the mound throwing.
Yeah.
And they don't have to place anybody anywhere.
This is the thing that bothers a lot of baseball fans here. It's pretty clear. We've seen 2 replays. Folks at home watching Fox Sports Detroit know what should be called, and yet they're still reviewing. I mean, it's not like football where you got to fix the amount of time on a clock after a challenge, right? That would take a little bit longer. Just not sure what the delay would be.
Well, they may be reviewing a couple other plays for a couple other games. It's the only thing I can think of. But it seems like you should be able to look at the scoreboard right now.
This is the 3rd time we've taken a look at this. Have you changed your mind yet?
No.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it's not convincing or conclusive The call on the field was out. And the umpires on the field are not, they're not
It's not on
skewing
them.
it either way. It's
Right,
not on them.
no.
It's on New York. They showed it on the scoreboard. I mean, there's a high percentage here in the ballpark thought that they saw it come off the bag. And there seems to be a glitch. Now, if you're the manager and they say that he's out, what do you say? Because if you come out and say anything, you're gone.
Well, with my team up 6-4, I'm free to express myself from the dugout. I can tell you that. Because there's nothing you can really say to these umpires. What you'd like to do is talk to the folks in New York.
Had a good
right?
show. Here you go. Just say, in fairness to the umpires on the field, they're not watching. Gardy's kind of being watch out here. Look at this in the fans, the Minnesota fans. Get them, Gardy. They go way back. And again, I think the umpires try and do a good job of keeping situations from getting as animated as they used to.
Yeah, let him have his say because of the controversy surrounding it. Let him have his say.
It's one of the things I do like, though, when I watch old baseball games, is to watch some of the discussions.
And no one was better to watch than Earl Weaver. Now, a lot of those.
Billy Martin.
Well, that's a good one, but Lou Piniella.
Yeah, Lou Piniella. Jim Leadham was pretty good at times. Remember Nestor Shylock?
I do. He's the umpire.
He had to be back in the 60s, 70s, late 70s.
At some point, it's going to be enough.
I wonder if Gardy's saying, let's watch this and see if he's saying they were coming in hard and they went after him.
The reason he's talking to Larry Vanover is because Larry Vanover is the crew chief.
Can we look at this really slow? Maybe we can split screen it and keep an eye on what's going on in the field.
I think part of his complaint too is, look, you called him out. So my shortstop, had you called him safe, my shortstop would have gone back and tagged him because Robbie Grossman went off the bag. That could be part of it, don't you think?
He's saying that
he's saying he came off the bag just standing there. Cost me an out.
so they're on a hit and run. Ball is hit clearly. So Ronnie, he's definitely safe there. Who we got at second base? That's
Well, Robbie Grossman took off. He took off from second to third.
So theoretically, they should have got on and appealed it. I think that Detroit might have been able to appeal it at second base.
They're marking that an error on the shortstop, Ronnie Rodriguez.
We'll get an explanation after.
Jake Cave stands in. That review, by the way, took 3 minutes and 36 seconds. Cave singled and scored his last time out, struck out in the first against against Matthew Boyd. First time he faces Sandy Baez.
So Baez has been sitting there throwing for a while. He's going to have to learn how to deal with that.
Jake Cave pretty happy that there's no Matthew Boyd to face because he was hitting 183 against lefties on the year. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2.
Good movement on that pitch, huh? Something off speed. Really went dipped down and away. That movement. Like a split or something.
Cued to third, but foul.
Just watching Sandy, the way he puts his hand in his glove, man on second, I think he might have to angle that glove a little bit away. I think they can see in that glove.
That was a good shot of him hiding the baseball, but still maneuvering his fingers around to get the right grip on the ball.
Yeah, well, if you get your grip too early, no, I think they can't see that.
Bases loaded now for Minnesota.
2 walks and a double.
Yep.
Tigers should have had a triple play, did not execute that. They're making it tough on themselves right now as they try and cut this inning off.
4 walks in the game issued by Tigers pitching, as many as the strikeouts they've had. And now Johnny Field, who's been the best hitter for either team so far tonight.
Isn't it amazing how it works out?
It is.
2 home runs.
That's enough to bring Rick Anderson out for a mound visit.
You see all the Tigers on the mound. I know we talked about this last night. I asked Gardy, and he likes it if somebody's going to go out in a situation like this and everybody goes in and discusses whatever they're going to discuss, where they're going to play, shifts, who's covering where, what set of signs you're going to start with, and what may trigger a change of signs. So they face Mr. Field, who's had a pretty good day. He did hit a home run in the second. It's a no-doubter. And you see that ball's out over the plate, not trying to get that ball in, it looked like. And then again in the fourth. We find the bases loaded.
First one went 375 feet. The second one, 349. What Baez needs is a ground ball at someone to try and get the double play that they failed to get earlier in the inning.
I think Ron Gardenhire right here wants to see what this young pitcher can do. He's not going to take him out. Looked like Field was stepping a little bit in the bucket trying to pull that ball, and the ball was away.
Field had been struggling coming into the night. Last 14 games, just 7 for his previous 34.
And both pitches were about the same spot. Kind of maybe thigh high, middle in.
All over that one.
About right there, just a little more over the plate. I mean, he's falling down here. A little too aggressive.
Really heavy swing. Two and two. Good pitch, low of the zone.
Well, watch his front foot. We're going to replay this pitch. Watch his front foot. He steps in the bucket a little bit. So watch this foot right here.
A little bit.
A little leakage there.
Yep.
Keep it away.
Opening up that shoulder.
Yeah, keep it down and away. I don't think he can do what he did his first two at bats. Middle in, middle third, he can still get it.
Huge strikeout for Baez.
I was talking about a little bit of character there for the youngster. Well, he let it go though, didn't he? Johnny Field did not get cheated. So here we go with the sequence. Got bases loaded, one out. Look for double play or strikeout. Made a great pitch on the last one. McCann is identifying the same thing that we just pointed out about the leg, and he's saying, I need that fastball right here. Now for the big out. Somehow you can get out of this. Chris Jimenez is the hitter.
Struck out swinging in the second. Hard hit ball in the fourth, but right at Kristen Stewart.
Trying to keep it away.
You had mentioned Field kind of going with that foot in the bucket, opening his shoulder too soon. That's something you were talking about with Joe Mauer prior to the game, and how he doesn't do that with his right shoulder as a left-handed hitter.
Yeah, did you notice when he was showing this? I was watching his back elbow. He's like, he keeps that back elbow tucked in so he can't come out. He can't pull off the ball. He can't open that front shoulder up.
Yeah, fun demonstration. Jimenez swings and misses.
We're finding that Baez has a different level. I don't know what that meeting was about, but somebody said a good one. This is what you like to get your kid out of the jam, and you announce good meeting. That's what we're looking for.
And ahead in the count.
Don't get tricky. Heater away.
Last one was 95. To left and a base knock. One run is home. Stewart comes up throwing. 2 runs more here in the 5th for Minnesota.
Got hurt. Got back over the middle. And Jimenez smoked it. Gave him credit. Made a mistake and he got it.
That's enough of Sandy Baez. Ron Gardenhire needs some more help from the bullpen. jumped all over Matthew Boyd. Tyler Austin with a 2-run shot in the first. Tigers able to battle back a little bit, but Johnny Field, that's the first of his 2 homers, a solo blast in the second. Tigers trailed big early. They got one in the first, and then Nico Goodrum with a key RBI single in the third. They pulled even at 4-4, and then Minnesota bouncing right back. Field with a 2-run shot in the fourth, first multi-homer game of his career. And then here in the fifth, 2 more for Minnesota, keyed by Jimenez's 2-run single. And that's where we stand. Minnesota leads it 8-4, still with an out needed here in the fifth. Zach Reininger in for the Tigers. What we didn't see in that game summary is the debate, the questionable and the controversy involved when Detroit thought they were close to having a triple play, thought they had a double play. The challenge was made by Paul Molitor, was reversed. Ron Gardenhire is basically saying, hey, wait a minute, why is the lead runner safe? He didn't make an attempt to go back to second. I don't get it. Wild pitch, maybe pass ball, either way.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild pitch. What you're seeing here, some of the kids, we've seen the game speed up and they've had trouble cutting the innings off and making plays. And tonight, it starts the play in question, really. We've got a for sure double play here. You can see the ball going to the backstop. But you could see clearly we had a chance at a double play. We rushed and went for 3 before we had 2. And those are the types of things that they're just going to have to control. They're going to intentionally walk Joe Bauer after the wild pitch or the pass ball, whatever it is. But the Tigers just have to keep preaching it in the remaining games, into spring training, and then into the next season. And you're going to have to take advantage. You got first and second, they're hitting and running on you. You've got a for sure double play. Got to make sure you get it, then try for the triple. You rush, it puts you in a tough situation more times than not.
Jorge Polanco with the bases loaded again. Second time they've been loaded for the Twins this inning. Reininger came over to the ballpark really early. He and Jared Saltalamacchia were walking over a little after 1 o'clock Central Time. So a good 6 hours prior to. They were talking baseball the entire time. It's one of the things we don't often hear enough of, the influence some veterans can have on younger players. Though even may not be playing, the ability to just talk baseball with them and go through certain situations can oftentimes pay big dividends.
Yeah, Salty was doing it. Victor was in the clubhouse, had some of the pups under his wing. You know, you go, those guys, they're split up. Some are playing cards, some are talking, listening to music, others are eating, others are stretching. They're in the weight room, they're at the batting cages, some are out in the field playing flat ground. So these conversations take place all over. And many of the conversations we're having will be discussed, either have been or will be. That's what it's all about, just trying to get better. Got to throw strikes.
Yeah, tough spot here for Reininger. He's put himself in a 3-1 hole to Jorge Polanco.
And you're trying to throw a strike right now. It's, you get that little feeling in your elbow, or you've had to make like a 20-inch putt for something, haven't you? You know the feeling.
Yeah, I know it.
People say I don't feel it at all. I said baloney. Got to learn to deal with it.
3-2. Polanco has hit safely in 9 of his last 12 home games after singling his last time up.
2 down. Tigers trailing 8-4 to the Twins. And a long inning right here.
Stroke to left center. Jones won't get there. It's going to go up against the wall. That'll clear the bases, and Polanco will hustle all the way to third.
You got to give Polanco credit. He took the 3-1 right there, put the pressure, and kept it on the Tigers. You see that short swing. This ball looked like Jacoby might have a chance, but it took off about right here. Had jet burners on it. Polanco with a bases clearing triple.
Yeah, he can fly, can't he? Ninth batter of the inning, Logan Forsythe. One and one, two.
Now think about this. The Tigers had made that double play. The score would it be tied? Yeah, it'd be tied. You'd be down 6-4. We'd have been scored a couple of runs by now, don't you think?
Yeah, because Robbie Grossman's the one who was at second base. They gave him that bag back, and he was the lead runner.
He led up with the double.
Yeah.
Walk to Tyler Austin. Hit and run on. Astudillo hits the ball right to Lugo at second base. Taylor made triple play, and we got one out of it after the review. I mean, it's not been good since then.
Jake Cave then walked, and then Johnny Field struck out. That should have been the third out of the inning. Had the double play stayed the way the Tigers had hoped. Ronnie Rodriguez pulled his foot too early. To third base. Long inning for the Tigers. A profitable one for the Twins, though. As we head to the sixth. Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. By your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, visit ChevyDetroit.com and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Twins have distanced themselves from the Tigers over the last couple of innings. 2 in the fourth on a 2-run homer from Johnny Field. 5 more in the fifth. 11-4 Twins as we begin the sixth. wall side windows pitching change for Minnesota. They go back to the bullpen. They welcome in Andrew Vasquez.
See, he's a youngster, only 2 innings so far. Got a walk and a strikeout. Opponent's hitting 300 off him so far. Tall kid, and he's a lefty.
Why is this a good time for Paul Molitor to bring him in, do you think? I mean, he's got a huge lead, right? I mean, he can pitch rather free and easy.
Well, it's a clean inning. You know, like you wouldn't want to bring him in with the guy on base. You want to give him a chance to have nobody on base and create his own trouble, so to say, I guess, or stay out of his own trouble. It's much easier to come in and pitch nobody on base where you don't have to worry about the runners holding him on, etc. If he wants to bounce one right here, he can bounce it.
Vasquez 1-2 with a 1.3 ERA in 40 games between Single-A Fort Myers, Double-A Chattanooga, and Triple-A Rochester for the Twins.
Fast mover.
Off speed is over to Ronnie Rodriguez to make it 2-2.
34% fastballs at 90, 66% slider, 82.5.
106 minor league games for him. Rodriguez barely got a piece of that.
So it'll be Ronnie, Candy, and Stewie.
And you hope deeper than that.
Yeah, that's just to get his spaces loaded. So Jack Moore stopped in.
Yeah, he's
the booth. What was this question?
What is going on out there?
Yeah, he saw some missed opportunities. It's obvious. And these are the times that I'm sure Gardy's very frustrated, as the players are as well.
Polanco with an easy try.
Good hustle. Want to keep running, don't want to concede.
Back to the top for Jamer Candelario.
Candy got a walk, line to the second baseman, and another walk.
Turns around, hits right-handed. We were talking about this last night. Unique situation where a guy who has so much power from one side, but such a better hitter from the other. 288 right-handed hitter, 204 left-handed hitter.
More power lefty,
but more power as a left-handed hitter. With 13 of his 19 homers coming from that side of the plate, and 33 of his 53 runs driven in. Same. Batting just 143 against the Twins this year.
You can really tell that Vasquez loves the slider. 1-0 count through the slider. There's another one. Really takes a lot off it as well. 60 or 82 mile an hour. Pretty slow slider, but he's got a pretty good break on it. Throws across his body.
Twins relievers have 3 strikeouts tonight. That gives the relief corps 588 on the year. That's most in franchise history.
No, when that leg comes down, I'm sorry, it's going to be crossed like that.
And there's another one.
Good slider. Leave it up to Kristen Stewart. She's had a good game so far. It's Candy over top. Vasquez taking a lot off that. It's good depth to that. It's not just lateral. Watch it go down. Now that's the kind of slider that Matt Boyd had a couple of starts ago and never quite found it today. Didn't have the feel, I guess.
It happens.
Oh, yeah.
Stewart with a sacrifice fly in the 4th. Walked and scored in the 3rd. And was thrown out at home trying to stretch a triple into an inside the park homer in the 1st.
Doesn't look like he's easy to pick up from the left side. I like Kristen's method right here. Nobody's on. Haven't ever seen this pitcher. He's in your league. Do a scouting report.
Poke to left, and a nice grab by Astudillo at third base. First 1-2-3 inning for either team, and it comes here in the 6th, with the Twins leading by 7. 2019 Detroit Tigers season tickets today. Act now to receive priority seat selection. For more information or to place your deposit, visit tigers.com/seasons or call or text 313-471-2255. That's 313-471-2255. Nice to see some Tigers fans here on the road in Minnesota.
Good place to come. Back in the day, went to Toronto. We had a lot there. Cleveland's another place. Chicago. So Minneapolis is a pretty good city, huh?
Yeah, I like it. Always have.
Tigers need to have a shutdown inning. Gave up 5 in the 5th, 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 2nd, 3 in the 1st. They need to have a 0 up there. Get back on the attack.
Be nice to have a quick inning for Zach Reininger.
Well, there's really nothing quick about what's been going on. Some misplays. About a 3-hour game here as we're into the top of the 6th.
3 hours and 17 minutes last night in game 1. Grossman's been a tough out. RBI single in the 1st, doubled and scored in the 5th, sandwiched around a walk. Talked with Kirk Gibson prior to the game. Must have done something for him.
Like to take credit, but it's hard to do.
Grossman told me that he said he would in Houston. He says hockey's non-existent. He said he comes here. He loves going to Minnesota Wild games and getting to know some of those players.
Yeah, there's a lot of activity downtown here. You got the University of Minnesota here as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Their ice arenas there. Their stadiums right here.
pounded to left. Stewart going back on the warning track. One long out here in the Minnesota 6th. John Keating in the Call Sam Studios. Hi, Keats. But Craig Counsell and company want the division.
Who did they play there in 2011? You remember?
I don't.
That was the D-backs. That was
your
I'm
team?
not going to bring up a controversial part. Yeah, they beat us in extra innings. Was it 3-game playoff? Best of 5, actually.
Yeah, Ryan Braun had a really good series, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did. Asterisk next to that.
Ryan Braun had a couple of homers last night.
Yeah,
for Milwaukee.
I got to give him credit. He's really remained a very good player. Was started as a third baseman, now as a left fielder. We've had our battles over the years. It's just the way it goes. You have those sometime around the league. Got to give him his credit, though. That playoff baseball is where the Tigers want to go and where their work will not end at the end of the season on Sunday. They will go right to work.
Paul Molitor is a pretty good brewer.
Oh, he was a great brewer. They had Molly, they had Robin Yount.
Oh, Robin Yount was so good.
Pete Vukovich, remember him?
Cecil Cooper.
Coop, I think. Yeah,
Ben Ogilvy?
Benji, yeah.
Ben
He
Ogilvy.
was saying he used the biggest and heaviest bat.
Yeah, what
Gantner.
did he say? What did he say? He said, is it 30?
36,
35,
36,
yeah.
something like that. Jim Gantner,
Yeah.
he was a
Sal Bando was on that team, wasn't
maybe at the beginning.
he?
I don't think back in, well, that was 81 when we had to play them for the playoffs, the
Right.
Brewers.
Was that Harvey's Wallbangers?
Yep.
Harvey King? Yeah. Gorman Thomas was part
Marvin
of that.
Thomas was there. Trying to think if Raleigh Fingers was on that team.
I think he was.
You see a guy like Raleigh Fingers and you're a youngster and all of a sudden you're hitting off him.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, when you hit against them at the end of their career, it's not like they were in their prime, but
No, but still.
they can still school you for sure.
Oh. Yeah, there's a reason he was stuck around as long as he did and was as good as he was. Good pitch by Reiniger. 2 down.
Got some life on that heater this inning.
Christian Yelich had a big game again last night. Look at what he's done this month.
346. Look at the damage. Mr. DeGrom, 1,000th career strikeout.
That's why some people think Christian Yelich should be the National League MVP.
Because why?
Well, not just that month, but he has helped carry that Milwaukee team.
So give me your top 3, and we'll rank them. Got Yelich up there.
The National League MVPs?
Yeah.
Is what you're saying? Well, Yelich has, if he's not going to win it, he's got to be included along with, I would guess, Javier Baez, right? Freddie Freeman is probably included in there.
Freddie, yeah. I'll go Freddie.
Would you be up for that?
Yeah.
That's the deal in the hole and through for a base hit.
Estudillo's got a couple of hits, one up the middle of his first at bat, and that one found himself a hole. He's hard to defend because he hits the ball everywhere.
And here's the center fielder, Jake Cave.
Strikeout, a knock, and a walk. Scored a couple. Are they looking for some signs?
It's interesting the way Nico Goodrum holds men on. He does not put your traditional right foot at the corner of the bag and reach out to show Reininger where his glove is. He's off the bag a couple of feet with both feet.
He's trying to get off further. Got a left-handed batter up there.
And the fact that Astudillo is not much of a running threat, considering he hasn't even attempted to steal a base this year. Kid can hit, though.
Yep.
He's got 2 hits tonight. That gives him 8 multi-hit games this year and 5 in the last 8. And he hasn't been up here all year either.
So, yeah, I don't know if you got a peek there, Nico, the first baseman. You want to get off the line. So he's going to anticipate that he's going to come this way. Be ready. And that comes at you quick. You got a right-handed, left-handed pull hitter there.
Good pitch. Muscled the other way. 3-2 now to Jay Cave, who struck out swinging in the first. That means in 15 games played against the Tigers, he has struck out 16 times.
That's how you want your RBI to be, huh? 1 greater than your games.
Right. But not your strikeouts.
No.
Astudillo be on the move. Checked his swing and lost it.
This game is monotonous right here. A lot of time in between pitches. Everything's slowed down. Not a lot of flow to the game. There've been mistakes. Baez came in for an inning, walked a couple. Renninger's walked 1. He had the long 5th inning and a misplay that extended that inning. That's where you got to pick yourself up as a team, find some energy, get it rolling. Was it 11-4?
It is. 11 runs, 12 hits from Minnesota.
Just can't let the energy go. You got to roll.
4-6-2 for the Tigers. Remember, the Twins made 3 errors last night. Tigers have returned the favor almost with 2 more miscues tonight.
Johnny Field again. We pointed out how the front foot is stepping in the bucket. Get it in there. Watch that front, his left foot. It's going to go right outside.
1-2 now to Jay Cave, or Johnny Field rather. In addition to the 2 home runs from Field, remember he had that nice sliding grab and left.
There he goes.
Second time he struck out, so a couple of homers and a couple of Ks for Johnny Field. We're through 6 here in Minnesota.
There we go. Let's go. Have a baby.
The top of the 7th inning, Nicholas Castellanos would get things started for the Tigers this half. And I'll tell you, Nick and his good buddy Shane Green did something really special on Monday before they flew here to Minnesota, guys. And that was they went to Children's Hospital of Michigan and they helped fund a new art therapy project called Painting the Future. And basically, they raised funds to help buy all sorts of paint supplies. That's being paint brushes, easels, canvases. And essentially, for these kids during their time in the hospital, they're going to be able to meet with a licensed art therapist and creatively express themselves through painting. This is the good stuff. These are the good stories. And when I was talking with Nick about it yesterday, he said, really, I got to give credit to Shane. It was Shane's idea, and he said, but I'm all in. But these are just ways these guys continue to give back to the community and stuff we love to see, you know, some of the personal side of these guys.
Yeah, that's a great story. That'll be part of their podcast, you would think, too, right,
oh, yeah.
Johnny? 619?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
How many podcasts they've done this year, do you know?
I don't. Nick Castellanos on cue, drills one to center. Oh, and a nice diving grab made by J.K. Covered some ground in a hurry.
Do you need to dive?
I think so.
Yeah?
You think there's some guys who dive when it's not necessary?
Web gyms? Hey, I'm just up here watching that. It's a good jump. Well, he went down and got it. Excellent play. Look at that glove. It looks, that's the full 12.5 inches.
Yeah, that is a
See
long
how his
glove
hit that grass there? That's the trick, is to keep that ball coming out of your glove. That's an excellent play.
Addison Reed is the new pitcher for Minnesota.
But to answer your question, I do think people do, and they do it in every sport, don't you? You kind of put a little style on it.
A little embellishment?
No, I just say style. Put a bow on it.
I suppose. When you played, was there somebody who did that and kind of?
Yeah, I think probably we're all guilty of it, you know. Once you know you got it, maybe you stumble and take a roll and you know, make it look good. Ooh.
Some people complained that Jim Edmonds did that a little bit.
Yeah, well, he might have, but he made some great plays.
Oh, man, is he a good center fielder or what?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, there's no penalty in baseball for doing that, by the way, okay? There is in hockey, right, for you dive.
Yeah, there is in basketball.
They call it very not frequently, right?
No, I wouldn't call it frequently, no.
And the same with basketball, they don't really. Nico's been susceptible to that slider. Put him away.
3 strikeouts tonight for Nico Goodwin.
Good slider, mainly fastball. You saw it tailing away, and put that slider down underneath the hands. And this will leave it up to Jim Meducci, 0 for 2 with the walk.
He's had a couple of strikeouts swinging. You find the pitchers when they're up 11-4, they're basically going to challenge it, right? I mean, they're going to come into the zone.
Not necessarily. They're going to try and get you out. I mean, they sense you're going to be. They sense you're going to be sloppy. They're going to take advantage of it. I mean, they don't care. They want outs. This isn't, you know, we're up by 7. Here's a cookie for you.
Right. Meducci goes the other way, and that's a foul ball.
Before we went to break there, just before I let a little bit of let's go. I mean, you just have to push yourself in these situations. You can't just play it out.
Well, Ron Gardenhire has talked about how his team, and really this happens with every team in baseball, when a game gets long, and I don't mean hours-wise, but how the flow of a game or the pace of a game has been stuttered a little bit. And that's the way this game has gone. I was just talking during the break with some of the Minnesota broadcasters. And, you know, it puts you on your heels if you're a fielder behind some of those pitchers.
It can.
And he wants a quicker pace, work a little bit more diligently.
Well, a lot of it starts with the hitter getting in the box and the pitcher getting on the mound. Addison has done a pretty good job of that. When you get guys on base, though, and especially if you're younger, you're going to take your time.
Slow roller.
It's a
Reed's
hit.
going to have to cover, and instead it's going to be an infield hit for Jim Adducey.
Addison Reed went after the ball, and the first baseman, you see he comes over and nobody's there to cover the base.
James McCann with an RBI single back in the 3rd and a walk in the 5th.
He's battling.
Battled through some tough at-bats last night before wearing a crown late. And then doing the same here today with that RBI single and the walk as well. A good at-bat from James McCann.
So I think the rule is it's supposed to be 12 seconds after everybody's ready to go. So batter in batter's box, pitcher on hill. Supposed to pitch in 12 seconds. That was 8. So we'll get our patrol on and make sure that they're continuing to pitch with energy.
Well, Minnesota's bound to pitch with energy. McCann needs a new
Broke his bat.
Yeah, new bat because of
Probably a good bat. He hates to give that one up.
feel that way about bats,
Oh,
even
yeah.
though most of them are the same, aren't they?
They're not the same.
Why not? I mean, they're all same length and same ounces.
Not particularly balanced the same.
Oh, I see. I would hope you wouldn't grab a bat that didn't feel good in your hands.
Well, if you get a dozen bats, you're not going to have a dozen bats that are all the same. I'm telling you, you may have 6 you could use in a game. You use all of them in batting practice. I did. First, broke them in, but some of them start to chip. But a bat can weigh, say, 35 ounces.
Poke to right.
Get down.
On the run, Grossman's going to drop in front of him. Adducey goes first to 3rd. And the Tigers, with 2 down here in the 7th, have runners at the corners.
Here we go.
Tigers have done a better job of that, going first to 3rd, don't you think, this year?
Absolutely.
Helps to have a faster team.
Well,
and then some guys who are willing to go the opposite way. But last year, this team went first to 3rd 26%. And this year, it's at 29%. They've also done a better job of making fewer outs on the bases, stealing bases at a better rate.
we want to be up around 75 with the stolen base rate. That's the break-even point where the risk, where the reward outweighs the risk. But yeah, they're going to work on that some more. We've talked to Gardy quite a bit on that, and he's committed to doing how they did it in Minnesota.
Yeah, the double plays grounded into 20 fewer than a year ago.
A lot of that first to third, and when you run, everybody thinks it's for the fast guy. That's not true. You ever see a slow guy be out for by 6 inches? How could he have made that up? It goes for everybody. You don't have to be fast to be paying attention to the base running.
Jacoby Jones in search of his first hit tonight.
So just take the second to home. About the same as they were last year, but
Grounder to short. Polanco's got to hurry. He's got an easy out at second. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch here in Minnesota.
Went to the 5th inning. Tigers had first and second against them. They had a chance for a triple play. They ended up getting only the out on the line out, and then it went bad for the Tigers. Jimenez with the big base hit. Polanco had another hit. Scored 5 runs after that triple hit, at least a double play botch. The Tigers came out of that inning trailing 11-4, and we've got another pitching change for the Detroit Tigers. Buck Farmer. They started with Matt Boyd, 3 2/3. Sandy Baez put an inning in. Renninger put an inning in a third, and now on to Buck. See the innings there? In 66 innings or so. There's another
Greeted
first
by a
pitch.
base hit.
Yeah, and you just really keep jumping them. First pitch.
Harold Castro. Now the new shortstop with Ronnie Rodriguez shifting over to third, and Victor Reyes is taking the place of Nick Castellanos at right. Top of the lineup now for Joe Mauer. Mauer hitting almost 360 in his last 11 games.
And he told us he wasn't sure whether he was going to play or not.
Next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sure I'm buying it.
Well, he did tell you there are other things involved. It's not just, hey, can you do this? Because it's obvious he can do it.
I don't think that he would. You think he'd leave this club?
Does he? Why not? Does he owe it to them?
No, I think he's a local guy. He's grew up here. His high school is close by. He's been with the Twins his whole life. I think he'd probably want to stay with the same organization.
Oh, that's what you mean. I'm sorry. I thought you meant like, would you feel like he would retire? No, I think if he's going to play, he's going to play here.
I know Alan Trammell. I heard it from him many times, and Lou Whitaker. How many people can say that now?
Played for one team?
Yep.
Not many. I think it's a big deal for fans. I don't know how much it matters to certain baseball players or certain athletes in general, but I think for Mauer, I bet you it's a big deal, especially since he's from this area. But he does have 2 little girls, and he and his wife are expecting a 3rd child. So congratulations to him and his wife. But maybe that plays a factor in it. You know it as well as anybody. You have 4 children. It's a tough grind in baseball.
It actually
miss a lot.
You do miss a lot, but it turns out there's other experiences because of it that makes it worth it.
Yeah, it's a great way to look at it.
I mean, we are from Michigan. Our whole life really hadn't been to the west of the Mississippi. You go to live in Los Angeles area. A lot of different culture, a lot of exposure, a lot of rounding out your foundation. You learn a lot of things from a lot of other people.
Mauer to left center, where he usually goes. Stewart had him played well. Yeah, you said that in a Fox-produced video about. Well, it's more than a video though. It's a long, almost short movie about the Dodgers season in '88, where you and your wife went out to Los Angeles and thought, hey, you know what? This is a time for us to take a chance, go out there and do something we've never done before. It's a new journey, and it's a new experience for us.
Yeah, go for it. Definitely, it'll round you out.
Polanco first swinging, testing Stewart again. A little misjudgment there, but he made the play.
Yeah, I noticed if you look at Stewie, he seldom stands under a ball. He tends to wait and then come in. That's Wants to make sure he's got it right before he comes charging in. He comes and gets a position, and he moves in right at the end and makes the catch.
6 putouts tonight.
Yeah, if you have time, you want to make sure and verify before you come charging in and let it go over your head.
Forsythe, one of the few not to be able to have a good experience at the plate tonight for Minnesota. This 13-hit attack, he goes the other way and snared at first base by Nico Goodrum. We're through 7. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
The Miller Lite hold true moment. Johnny Field, 2 home runs, 1 in the second. Then again in the 4th inning, has a couple of home runs, 2 runs scored, 3 RBI. He's also struck out 2 times, but not enough. Then the good catch coming in from left field right there, keeps it in the end of the webbing. Been a pain in the Tigers' side tonight. Played a good game against us, so you're going to respect his efforts.
Well, Lugo leads off the 8th for the Tigers. A new Twins pitcher, John Curtis, in his 7th appearance.
The Twins are liking this, getting a lot of their younger guys in here. Give them a little bit.
And saving their key bullpen guys, possibly for tomorrow. 16th career major league appearance for Curtis.
He's got a fastball, 65% of the time slider. Pretty similar to what the Tigers just saw in Vasquez. One's a lefty, one's a righty.
He's also throwing to a new receiver. Juan Gratterall is behind the plate now. Lugo with a couple of base hits tonight, both the opposite way, between the hole at first and second. Not this time, though. Strikeout to start the 8th looking.
Looked like Biscotti gave him a little extra on that one. That called 3rd strike call.
How would you call a strike if you were an umpire? As Ronnie Rodriguez sprays one to right center. 2 down.
I really don't know. I used to do it.
Did you ever ump?
But I was a little guy. Watch here. Watch the call. Don't pull anything, right?
Yeah.
Who do you think over the years is your favorite?
Oh, I couldn't even venture a guess.
Do you remember Dutch?
Don't.
What was Dutch's last name? Dutch Leonard? Dutch Renard. Right?
Okay.
Ah! Jimmy Joyce.
How about Leslie Nielsen in the movies? How about that? Where he was dancing. That was my favorite. Little Naked Gun movie right there, a reference for you. Castro slams one to right center. Grossman drifting over, makes a couple outs in the 8th, and the Tigers go quietly. On base, they trail by 7 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. The Ram pick the stick update. How we doing here? Gibby, you're rolling. You and Johnny Kane on the positive side of the ledger.
Well, I wouldn't say rolling, but
What? You got 7 points. It's huge.
well, I'm on the board, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's big.
Still coming for you, Gibby.
All right, you better get rolling, buddy.
I want to see. How far are you back, Johnny?
I never get to see the standings. I'm just going by what I'm told. I think
You're
I'm
way
within
back.
striking distance.
You're way back.
Stop. I'm pretty close. I'm
No,
close enough.
You're not.
I get it. Hey, I get a couple of big days in Milwaukee, and you're going down, sucker.
Is that all? Well, why don't you get after Keating?
Well,
All of a sudden, I seem to be a target today. What's going
Well,
on?
everyone's just trying to better their position. You can't blame Johnny for
Yeah,
wanting
thanks.
to better his position.
Thank
right?
you, Shep. Voice of reason up there.
I just don't know how far away he is. I'd like to see an update on that.
What I do know
You know
is
who hides the update on the
Keating,
standings? Yeah.
Keating sits on it.
Oh, absolutely.
and he adjusts it.
You think there's some foul play involved?
Oh, well, I see broken pencils on the golf cart and the scorecard gone. but you're going to
That's
have to
funny because
overcome.
every time I've played with him, he's had an eraser on his golf pencil.
But, hey, Johnny, you got to go by Shep before you go to me.
Well, where's Shep?
I'm behind Keating. I'm in second place. Although with a goose
Yeah, I
egg
think
on the
Craig's.
board, doesn't help.
I think Simo's in last, right?
I believe so. I did not see the standings.
I think,
during
it
the
could be that
Tigers
Shep
live.
and Gibby are pretty doggone close.
Grossman with a high fly, shallow ball to left. Stewart his 7th putout tonight.
I know.
So you saw. Gibby
I
and I were
took the lead,
tied.
but
I think you guys. I think you guys might be tied.
Oh man. So Johnny, you're 18 back.
So
though,
I'm
bud.
coming. I can gun it for both of you.
What do you?
Well, you can gun for us, but you got to have a huge night. You need to have a Nicholas Castellanos 17-point
Well,
night like I had
guess who
earlier this
finally
year.
gets to pick first tomorrow? I had positive points yesterday and today picking 4th and 5th. Thank you too much.
So you've got
Tomorrow I get first pick, first crack at it.
you've got 3 games to go.
Oh, because Saturday's a big game?
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday's a
Fox
big Fox
game.
game. Yeah.
Got done.
All right,
Although,
6 points a night.
Look, you could make a bid, make a call to LA, and ask them, please, let's play ramp pick the stick and have you fill in. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll take my call.
Yeah.
Well,
Who?
Exactly. What regional network do you work for, sir?
Johnny,
This is Johnny Kane with a K.
we can meet tonight, Johnny, and don't be scared. Okay. Amazing how people talk until it comes time to actually seal the deal.
Listen, pal, I brought you a slice of cake.
I'm a little heavy right now. Loosen the
Yeah, he
belt
has
up.
not eaten any of that. I just want you to know.
He didn't?
No, not yet.
I'm not going to tell the guy who cut it for him.
I, however, have been willing to taste it. Mitch Garver with a shallow fly in foul territory, and Christian Stewart makes the nice play at the railing.
It's not an easy play right there. It's getting kind of windy out. You see Stewart right there. He's got that, and then he jumps up. Give you a little contusion. Stopper likes it. Good experience. Look at him looking up there at that wind. So here's another. We were looking at the flags the other night in Comerica Park.
First pitch swinging just over the outstretched glove of Harold Castro. And Astudillo has himself a 3-hit night.
First pitch
Stu
magic.
he just gets it done, doesn't he?
He gets after it. He's got great hand-eye coordination. Real short stroke.
Gotta find a place for him, don't you?
They're trying. Just you can see him bring those arms in and just put the barrel right on the ball.
Yeah, remember the out he made, Gibby.
Yeah, the
That
triple
was-
play should have been.
Yeah, that was the hit and run. You said I'd hit and run with this guy all day long, and they did. You and Paul Molitor
That
on
was
the same wavelength there.
play of the game right there.
Yeah,
Turning point in the game.
agreed. I did enjoy the conversation with you and Molitor, though, and they were talking about stealing bases, and he said, hey, man, I remember hearing you a few times while I was waiting at second base. I could hear you coming a long way away.
Well, you can't do that anymore, as you know. Well, he was a very. I remember when he first came up, he swung and missed a lot, but you could just tell the way he set up that he was going to be good someday. Was he ever 3,000 hits plus?
Nice way to finish the inning for Daniel Stump. Tigers have 3 outs left. Well, they have a major comeback left in them. matchup presented by Wallside Windows as the Tigers turn to Francisco Liriano tomorrow. Twins are unsure. We think they're going to go another one of those opener primary type situations for Paul Molitor.
Well, Liriano, 4 starts this year. You can see pretty good innings per start, 6, ERA under 2. He kind of got off the walk there a little bit, and I think the trade deadline, he was a little off guard there. I think he thought he might have been moving on, but he wasn't pitching as well. But he has gotten back on track. Looking for a good game from him tomorrow.
And our coverage will begin at 7 o'clock with Tigers Live. John Keating, Greg Monroe, Johnny Kane, and we look forward to another edition of Ram Pick the Stick. So folks, come back, see us tomorrow night. Tigers and Twins in the season finale. Game coverage at 7 o'clock on Tigers Live right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
And they'll be down to 3 games after tomorrow. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The Brewers, they won tonight. The Colorado won tonight.
A big win for Colorado last night.
I think the Cubs won as well, yeah. Big slider there for Kristen Stewart.
It's the 5th bullpen arm used by Paul Molitor.
See if he can figure it out. Those downlet sliders, they're tough. Gonna get another one. You know, how do you get to that pitch? It's hard because your barrel's going down to cover the plate, but the ball breaks off the plate, so you're right down there. You have to make an adjustment. It's very hard because it's goes laterally and it's got depth to it. Fastball away.
Stewart goes away, but right at Johnny Field. One quick out here in the 9th. MLB at bat is your #1 Detroit Tigers app. Customize your experience to catch every moment. Get Detroit Tigers home screen icons and features such as live radio broadcast, the MLB.TV game of the day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at bat today. Mitch Garver stays in and plays first base for Minnesota. Petit takes the second base position as Victor Reyes stands in for the first time tonight after taking the place of Nicholas Castellanos in right field in the 8th. Fouls it away.
Yeah, you want to go up there again. You want to try and keep your bats going. You don't want to just go up there and give into it. And I know it's hard. And the reason why is because you're going to get into a spot where a guy's got good stuff and he's dominated you before, and you've got to control your mind in that situation too.
Reyes hitting .231 from the left side.
It's what makes it worth it, I'm telling you. And you can do it when others can't. Wouldn't it be something if they came back right now? Believe it or not, 1 out.
Yes, it
1
would.
and 2. Be fun to be a part of it. Seen it happen before.
You want to keep that line moving, that's for sure. Right? You hit, I hit.
These hollers
the
underneath
mindset.
us. Does anybody else hear them?
I'm sure they do.
I mean, think they need a glass of water.
One skipped in there. Once this series is over, Minnesota gets Chicago here for 4. They got a makeup game from earlier this year that was snowed out.
You got to play the makeup.
Got to play the makeup. They're going to do it in a doubleheader at some point during that
It's Friday, right?
4-game series.
I thought it was Friday.
Yep.
Well, it has ramification.
Reyes continues to battle in his first at-bat of the night. Trying to snap out of an 0 for 10 slide.
Bell looks like he's lost a little weight. Remember, way back when.
Two outs here in the ninth.
Sneaky at 91 right there. Tell you, Kristen Stewart really had a good day at the plate today, didn't he? Good out there in the outfield. Let's take some positives out of it. Had a good inning in the third. Got the liner rolling. Got back in this game. Tied it up, actually. Then it did get ahead. James McCann continues to look better.
Goodrum has 2 hits in the 2 games. Both of them have driven in runs.
Does have some strikeouts today. Matt Boyd, not so good again today. He didn't really get some breaks. The big play. It was in the 5th inning. Could have been a triple play. Did not get 2 outs out of it, and that really was the decisive play of this game. Went on to score 5 runs, did the Twins in that 5th inning after that play. Nasty slider, I've said, coming right in under the hands again.
Twins about to be 25 and 12 at home since late June, number 5 in the majors, and they'll get it done thanks to an unassisted ground out to first. Twins come back with a vengeance. They win it by 7. Let's send it to the Call Sign Studio. John Keating and Craig Monroe standing by for Tigers Live postgame.